There you go.
What the hell you doing?
I've been louder.
Thanks for the heads up, Michelle.
Anytime.
I was too busy getting my feelings hurt about being bougie.
Clearly.
Ain't nothing wrong with being bougie.
Oh, hell no.
No. I'm trying to get like you, Murf.
You ever thought about doing audiobooks?
No, where's the volume on this thing?
Hey, Robert Pena.
Oh, I forgot. We're supposed to send our new thumbnail guy
Oh, a picture?
a picture. Okay, I'll send that to him right now.
Raider Lorian Demon Death. Ron. Kevin the Raider Nerd. Trey B. Lee B. Y'all must be brothers. Hooligan Nation. Storm. Tider Raider. Paul. Holy cow. We were all waiting on 6 o'clock. John Ogle. Jesus Allen Rock. What's up? Hey, Greg. Good to see you, William Holcomb. Carl Howard. My gosh, the whole freaking crew's already here. Pulling up.
They missed us.
Hey, Jay Jackson. Vibe Raider.
Hi, baby.
I feel you, Paul.
All right, here we go. Let's kick it off. It is episode number 312. Oh, I got to hit this button over here. There we go. Raiders Fan Radio.
Hey, it's Mike Garofalo, NFL Network here in the home office, and you are listening to the Raiders Fan Radio podcast, taking that lighter journey into the dark side with Murf, Swag Jeff, and Michelle. She's got great hair. It's a little pink, it's a little purple, whatever it is. I'll tell you what, if I could grow it, I would sign up for that color today. So listen to her and the entire crew as they give you all the information on the Raiders on the podcast that benefits the One Nation Foundation. It's a great cause. It's a great pod. Tune in, turn it up. Here it comes. All that Raiders info and takes coming at you right now.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murf's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Bolitnikov, a leaking pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down. Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, God.
It is a victory freaking Wednesday here in the Fan
yeah.
Cave. Appreciate everybody joining us live tonight for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio. Appreciate everybody joining us live tonight in the chat room. There is a bunch of folks in there. Raider Lorian is in there. Atticus B. Rockin is in there. Greg Brayman is in there. Paul Edgerton, Bugsy Raider. Foxy Scorpio is in there. Hooligan Nation is in there. William Holcomb is in there. Robert Pena is in there. Lee B. Jay Jackson. B. Al. Raider Truth Chicken. Oop, there we go. Get the chicken. Appreciate the Truth Chicken. Appreciate Vibrator. My baby's in there. Appreciate everybody joining us live. Tider Raiders in there. We appreciate you all so very, very much. And so Swag, Jeff, and Michelle just reminded me that we do our pre-show shot. What did I do with mine? Oh, here it is. We do our pre-show shot, and especially on a celebration day on a Wednesday. So we've been on the 99 theme here. Oof. And oh my gosh. And so let's do the 99 butterscotch. So if you got one, Raider Nation, raise it up and let's go. Salute. Let's go, Raiders!
Raiders!
Oh my gosh. You.
Oh.
Yummy.
Yikes. Ooh, that's strong.
There we go. There we go.
Ooh, that
All right.
was.
That was tasty. All right, now we're going to be sweating here in a minute. But
Oh, we're all going to be red as hell.
yeah. But let me wash it down with some of my grape Happy Dad. That'll be yummy.
Oh, there you
Anyway,
go. Shout out Happy Dad.
But let's go ahead and jump in the show here. We appreciate everybody joining us live tonight for episode number 312 of Raiders Fan Radio. We appreciate you guys so very, very much. If you are new to the show, my name is Murf. And I host this little show here called Raiders Fan Radio, and I have two of the most amazing co-hosts in the business that adorn the first one. I'll introduce you to is my best friend and yours. He is Swag Jeff. You can find him each and every week, Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here in the Fan Cave, talking about our favorite football team, talking about the Raiders. And so you can find us on the YouTubes live, and you can find us also on any audio podcast service. So without further ado, let me welcome him in, my best friend and yours. He is Swag Jeff.
It's style and then profile.
What's up, Swaggo?
Man, have another drink, pal.
I know, right?
It's Victory Wednesday.
Jeez.
Heck yeah, man. We're fired up, man. Holy cow.
Well,
That
it's been a month since, I think, or 3 weeks at least, since the three of us have been back in here. Now, of course, we
Absolutely.
did have the live broadcast of Bolitnikoff, but it's been the last two shows I've done selfies.
Absolutely.
So welcome
yeah.
back into both you
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
back here
and
in the
I'm,
Fan Cave.
I'm still recouping from Vegas. So I was in Vegas for like 7 full days.
Jeez.
Like, holy cow, man.
God,
Yeah,
that's
Vegas,
a long way. That's a
Vegas
long
whipped
run.
my ass a little bit, but it was amazing. We got to do so many amazing things, and we'll talk about that a little bit from the Bolitnikoff event to, of course, the game. I got to tour the stadium. We got to see amazing shows, and of course, just hanging out with my best friends on the whole entire world. So it was all good. But Murph, we don't do this show alone.
No.
So
we
yeah,
don't.
so to my left over here, adorning the what'd you say, the southern, or is it
It's
the
the southern annex
southern-
of the eastern annex of the Murph's Fan Cave.
What he said. Please welcome in Michelle Swag.
Oh God, I'm still trying to recover from that shot. Goo, that
Makes your tongue swell up a
was.
little
It
bit.
did a little bit. Listen, I'm just happy to be back. It feels like it's been forever because it has.
It's been a hot
We were
minute.
in Vegas for like a month.
My
so
gosh, yeah.
In,
yeah.
in our time, 7 days is about a month in Vegas.
My gosh.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh! Right? Absolutely.
Ooh, sorry, that shot still working its way into the
Heck
system.
yeah. Absolutely. Well, and Paul says Swaggo was in Vegas for 7 days. There's officially nothing left at Raider Image.
Oh my gosh!
So, hey, and you're
True.
not wrong, man, because I got to visit that place. So we stayed at the Luxor, and you walk over to Mandalay, there's a Raider Image right there, and then, of course, at the stadium. So I think I shopped at Raider Image 68 times, Michelle.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was amazing. So hey, so here at the top of the show, so every episode number here at Raiders Fan Radio, I tie back to something significant within Raider Nation, and this episode number is 312. And so for this episode, Murph, we're going back,
How far are we going back?
way back.
And it goes a little something like this.
Hit it. Hey, so this is we're going back, but it's a career stat. We love career stats around here. So for 312, we're going to be highlighting a guy that, if you
Highlight a guy.
we got a guy, and we got a special guy here. We call him the Rooster. So if you needed a yard, what would he do, Murph?
He'd get you a yard.
Well, if you needed 3 yards, what would he do, Murph?
He would get you a yard. The
All
great
right, of
Pete
course.
Banaszak,
Pete
ladies and gentlemen.
Banaszak, if you need a man. So drafted in 1966 by the Raiders out of the University of Miami, Florida, Pete played his entire 13-year career in Oakland and was a key part of Super Bowl 11 against Minnesota at the end of the 76 season, of course. In his career, Pete Banaszak scored 52 touchdowns.
Wow.
47 on the ground, and 5 through the air. We don't like math, but we like numbers around here. So if you do the math on that, 52 touchdowns at 6 apiece, Pete Banaszak scored 312 points.
Hey, nicely done, Jeff.
Hey! That was a good one. That was a fun one.
That was a good one. That was a good one,
right?
man. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So good stuff there. Appreciate you. So this is episode number 312. And so I mentioned you can find us each and every week on the YouTubes at youtube.com/RaidersFanRadio at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern on any audio podcast service, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, well, not iTunes anymore, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pandora.
Absolutely.
Anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find us. And so we just ask you for a big favor, please. All the money that we raise around here goes to our foundation, which is the One Nation Foundation. And we give all of that money away to Raiders-related charities. We have some amazing sponsors. Like tonight, we have the folks at Magic Mind are sponsoring this show. And so we're going to talk about Magic Mind in a little bit. But any way that you can support the foundation, including in the super chats in there, like our buddy Greg Brayman in there, who drops a 5 and says, JETS, lost.
Nice.
The Raiders are 12-5 and win the division. Raider Nation for life.
There you go.
Yeah.
Love where your head's at, Greg.
Appreciate you, Greg. Very, very much for that. And yeah, so the 100% of that money we give away through the foundation. And even if you're not able to support the show monetarily, more importantly, the foundation monetarily, we just ask that you support the show by hitting a like, hit a subscribe, hit a thumbs up, subscribe on the audio, hit the auto download, find us on the YouTubes there, hit a subscribe there. We're like 5,100 now. We crossed
yeah,
that
man.
5,000 and got up to like 51. And so we are so appreciative. And, you know, our show's a little bit of a slow burn. You know, and we're a little bit of a dog whistle, and so for the
a little bit,
okay,
we're a dog whistle.
We're a
for
lot
sure.
bit of a dog whistle. So, and speaking of that, here comes the dog. But so appreciate all of those of you, the 5,100 of you that support this show by subscribing to it, and just like I said, if you can't contribute monetarily to the foundation, just tell a Raider friend about us. Just hit that thumbs up again, because we just appreciate that very, very much, and we give our money away to Raiders-related charities, including Jeff. We just did like impromptu today before the show start. Tell them a little bit about what we
absolutely.
The next
So we had an emergency board meeting with the One Nation Foundation, and so 2024 is going to be a big, massive year for us. We can't wait to donate back to the Blitnikoffs, to Raider Dad. All those folks are going to get more money for sure on your behalf, Raider Nation. But we decided so today we're scrolling through the X, and we see that our good buddy, good friend of Raiders Fan Radio, number 98 if you need him, and it's Max Crosby, man. Yeah. Max Crosby has today, in the last couple hours, announced his Max Crosby Foundation that supports teens that are struggling with substance abuse, and also to pets and stuff like that.
Yeah, so not the pet side of it, but the teen part of it,
yes,
right in line with what the Blitnikoffs do.
Absolutely,
so it's right in our wheelhouse.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we decided, so on your behalf, Raider Nation, on day one of the Max Crosby Foundation, we were able to donate $500 on your behalf, Raider Nation, to the Max Crosby Foundation. So much respect, Max. You're doing the Lord's work, man. Yeah. And of course, your story is absolutely incredible. And we're glad to be just a small piece of that amazing thing that you guys are doing over there at the Max Crosby Foundation. So much respect to you. But yeah, like we said, man, the One Nation Foundation is growing, man. It's all on your behalf. All the money that we raise, all that stuff. Anytime you tell somebody about our show, a like, a share, a thumbs up, a subscribe, any of that kind of stuff, we can't thank you enough for that. And if you want more information on where you can listen to Raiders Fan Radio, here's Uncle Mosh.
Woo! Woo! Hey, Raider Nation! You got
Coach
old
Davis
Uncle
is in the
Mosh
chat. What's
here
up, Coach?
with an updated contact info.
Davis.
So sit up, zip
fired
up,
up about
shut
Coach
up,
Davis.
and pay attention.
Sorry, Mosh.
You can call us at 909-345-3346, or as Murf would say it, 909-345-3346. How about emailing me? You want to email me? Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes?
Do it.
Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. The Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio. Insta something. Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. The tiki-tiki-taki-talk.
My favorite.
TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio.
We love the
Or
TikTok.
what about the Twitch? Some of you have your Twitch. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Good. Oh, nicely done.
Perfection.
We've been on a roll.
I'm telling you, it's all about AP on that
That's
one.
exactly
He got us all
right.
fired
We
up
got
for
us
that.
all absolutely.
Yeah.
We've been on an absolute roll. So appreciate all of those of you Raider Nation that are tuning in with us. So real quick, we're gonna pay some bills, as the kids say.
Absolutely.
So speaking about the foundation, all the amazing corporate sponsors that we've had for the One Nation Foundation, and we appreciate today the good folks at Magic Mind,
Yes.
who have sponsored us here tonight. Yeah, we thank them so very, very much. So Magic Mind, Michelle's got do you have the Magic Minds over there?
I
by you?
do, I
So
do.
the Magic Mind is it's an incredible little drink here. It's a productivity drink. It's not an energy drink. It's a productivity drink. It's loaded with all kinds of B vitamins, D vitamins, a lot of ashwagandha. It's got cordyceps mushrooms in it. Amazing ingredients in Magic Mind. You take it in the morning. You take it with your protein whenever you eat your protein in the morning. And I love this stuff. It kind of helps you kind of lock in. They call it a productivity drink because it's not like a wiry thing. You just get this nice little hum about you throughout the course of the day. For a guy like me, man, I'm scattered. I mean, for those of you that have seen this show enough, I'm like, and so to have a thing like Magic Mind, like really it's not even like a mellow, but it allows me to kind of focus and concentrate when you got 900 things going on. Not only doing everything around the show on a Wednesday, but having the day job and personal relationships and all the things that go on through the course of the day. Magic Mind really helps me lock into it, and so I cannot thank them enough. Thank you for your support of Raiders Fan Radio. And Jeff and Michelle, you guys have been using it too, yeah?
My gosh, yeah, of course. So I particularly like the ashwagandha. So I'm all about. I've got a little bit of anxiety in my life. I'm in sales. I've got 2 little kids. I've got the family life thing, and oh yeah, by the way, I'm a Raiders fan as well. So the anxiety and stress is way up here. So that ashwagandha just kind of mellows you out. Kind of alleviates some of that stress and stuff like that. I love this stuff. I'm drinking less coffee because, you drink less coffee and energy drinks when you just, like you said, you got that little bit of a hum going on, man.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do all that stuff and this thing doesn't have a crash. You don't fall
good
out
call.
in the middle of the day after 6 cups of coffee. You take one of these things every day, man, and you're good to go.
I like it too because so it's got the cordyceps mushrooms and it's also got vitamin C in it. This time of year, immunity support is so important. Also, it's got vitamin D in it, which is kind of hard to get when it's dark at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Right.
I like that, and it's so small. And so you just take it like a shot, and then you're good to go. I really do like it. I really love how it just pushes me enough to kind of hum through the day.
Yeah, right on. Well, and being an artist like you are too,
yeah.
gives you that ability.
This is my busy time of year, so like having something like that just kind of help me focus on what needs to get done because there's so many things that need to get done. It really is like a game changer.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Good deal. Well, we cannot thank the folks at Magic Mind enough. Go check them out on their website. It's not hard to find Magic Mind. And when you get there, let them know that Raiders Fan Radio sent you. We appreciate you so very, very much. It's magicmind.com. Go check them out. Thank you so much and for your support of Raiders Fan Radio, most importantly, the One Nation Foundation.
Hi, this is AJ Cole from the Las Vegas
Hi,
Raiders.
AJ.
And you're listening to Murf, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Just win, baby.
Hey, and shout out AJ Cole.
Come on, go for it,
man.
Jeff.
Give us up for AJ Cole, man. So last week, at the game we were at in Las Vegas, he's over here setting NFL records and stuff, man. What was his average? 63 yards a punt,
dude.
Man.
Like, bruh,
Beautiful.
get you some of that, man. I mean, the offense was humming. Shout out
go.
Magic Mind.
Yeah.
The offense was humming, the defense was doing its thing, man. But AJ Cole was setting all that up, man. It was all about the position, the field position changes and stuff like that. We had field position advantage all game long in that game. And I mean, and much respect to AJ because you made that possible, pal.
Dude, you know what? That's such a great call out, Jeff, and probably an under-heralded member of this football team, and especially considering that, changing long snapper this year, so they had to get used to Jacob Bobenmeyer. I always mess up his name.
Yeah, Bobenmeyer.
Bobenmeyer, yeah. But also, too, when you look at the legacy of this Raider football team, and you look at the legacy on special teams, when you look at, literally the only punter in the Hall of Fame, Ray Guy, Shane Leckler, who's right on his heels, and now AJ Cole is coming along and having a similar, I'm not going to compare them, but a similar career. Like, I'm telling you, man, it is impressive what AJ Cole's doing. And also, too, and like, I think I might have mentioned it on the last show, but I can't remember. But you and I, Jeff, had a really cool conversation at the Blitnikoff dinner with John Kondo.
Hey,
former legendary freaking long snapper. And he talked about the bond that he had. And man, I wish Trent Sig was still around because I do miss Trent Sig on this football team. But the bond that Kondo had with Seabass and with Shane Leckler, and how similar that was with AJ, Daniel, at the time Trent, but now it seems like with Jacob as well, it's starting to work out also. But man, point being, with a team with a history on special teams, with three of the greatest to ever do it, for this group to now be, and because DC too is having a pretty good year too. I mean, I know he's got a couple that he wants back, but for the most part, like, having a pretty solid season. So
absolutely,
yeah, that's a great call out, Jeff. Great call out.
Yeah.
Hey, so since you gave a little bit of respect to AJ, it says pass around some more respect.
Well, yeah.
Murf, Swaggy J, Nation, it's time for a little respect. Respect ain't bought, it ain't sold, it ain't demanded, it ain't negotiated, it's earned. And without blowing smoke or giving shameless plugs, we want to say salute and much respect to the following folks.
Here at the top of the show, we live, bro. What are you doing over there, Michelle? This show's gonna be epic. Oh, it's gonna be so good.
Oh my gosh.
Oh goodness.
That's too funny. All right, so as we mentioned, our show's a little bit of a dog whistle. So if you get it, you get it. But we like to give respect here at the top of the show. We don't do props, we don't do shout outs. There's nothing wrong with those things, but we're Italian. We like to give a little bit of respect.
Well, yeah.
So all right. So I started off respect with one guy, and then it grew into another guy. And then it grew into another guy.
Of course.
So I'll just kind of say this. I want to give respect to, and it's hard to say that, well, I want to respect the guys that embrace what it is to be a Raider. I'll just say it like that. And when we look at a guy like Bob Spillane, a guy that's a grinder, a guy that was cut from different football teams, a guy that just really kind of stayed the course and kept grinding in his career. And now to be highlighted the way that he is, playing the way that he is, I think he's a Pro Bowler at this point. I mean, especially if he continues, and we'll get to I've got a lot of numbers and show notes to get to later. We're going to actually go through some of the numbers of what he's doing. But just that work ethic and that spirit that he embodies, I think is just so Raider to me. That's such a harken back to Raiders of the past. And then I'm thinking about Bob Spillane, but then I'm also thinking about Josh Jacobs. I'm thinking about a guy that's now, we looked it up for the show, he's now within, 100 and some odd yards of striking distance of being the league's leading rusher again, coming off of a freaking 8-game set with Josh McDaniels, who clearly didn't want to feature him. And now he's got Antonio Pierce, who is absolutely making Josh Jacobs a focal point of this offense like he should be. But his willingness to stay the course, and I know he wasn't happy, and I know that he was upset around some things, as we all were, even on his behalf. The way that previous front office had treated him. So for him to, again, stay the course, to stay the grind, I just have so much respect for guys like that. And then to cap it off, I'll give you this. Max Crosby, to me, he's the most Raidery. And I feel like we talked about this not all that long ago.
Yeah, we did.
You even said, Jeff, you said, is it too soon to start calling Max Crosby one of the all-time great Raiders? and this might have even been last year when you brought that up.
No, it was a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
talked. Yeah.
and you and I, Michelle, jumped in right away and was like,
Yeah.
no, I don't think so. And because he absolutely gets it. And while we have identified in the past few weeks, it takes a unique individual to be the head coach of this football team. I think I'm learning it takes a unique individual to be a Raider, period. Like, and whether that's even as fans, it's just something so unique and special about being a Raider. And I love these. I'm going to play you a soundbite here. I love these comments from Max Crosby. I don't know, as a fan, what else you could want to hear from one of the leaders of your football team, and especially on defense. Listen to the way he cites players of the past. He cites what it just is to be a Raider.
No doubt. That's what it's all about, Raider Nation.
And shout out Harry Ruiz, too, by the way, because Harry's the one that asked him this question and got this answer.
Good.
This is phenomenal.
The Raider, the Raider way of old school, with Ted Hendricks and all those guys, the George Atkinsons, like, they're known for being different, like the outlaws of the league. And, like, that's what when I first got drafted here, like, that's what I bought into. I'm like, that's me. You know what I mean? That's what I felt like. I always say I felt like I was meant to be a Raider, like, because I don't fit in, you know what I mean, in normal situations. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm 100% myself, and then, whoever loves me, and who doesn't, I don't give a damn. So it's like that's the Raider way, and I love it, and I feel like you felt that energy. Just it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks is, people are like, oh, you beat one team, whatever. Why are you doing that? It's like, no, like enjoy the shit and have fun with it, and that's what AP's preaching. That's what I'm preaching. It's like, every single day you get to come in here and play professional football and go out there on the field and go get a win in the NFL. Like, go have fun with it. It doesn't mean, all right, we just have one crazy week and then don't bring energy the next week. It's like, no, we got to match that and take it to even another level. So that's what we plan on doing.
Salute, Max.
I've lost my cigar to the abyss of my purse, so it's in there somewhere.
Michelle brought us the cigars. We're going to fire these things up if we beat Miami.
When we beat
Miami and or the Chiefs.
That's right.
We're gonna fire these suckers up, and you can't say it any better than that, Michelle. And I would venture to say this, and maybe I'm overextending a little bit, but maybe not. I don't know. I'll just tell you what my opinion is. We're all weird. If you're a Raider fan, you're weird. And I don't mean that in a negative sense, but you're different.
No, you're like a misfit. You're a misfit if you're a Raider. And the thing that I love about Max Crosby is that he never misses an opportunity to shout out Raider Nation.
Absolutely.
And thank them for their support and for showing up and for he never misses that opportunity. And I think that's what separates him. I mean, they all do that, but he really just highlights Raider Nation at every opportunity that he gets. And I think that's special.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. You guys said it all, man. So before we move on, I do want to tag what you were talking about Spillane.
Oh, okay, please.
So post game, so our boy AP, Coach Pierce, he's talking about, of course, he's talking about Spillane. He's talking about the whole team in its collective, but he's really highlighting Spillane, and he goes, "This is the kind of guy I want to build a team around." Like, I feel like that was so really powerful. Like,
that caught me off guard.
Like, I mean,
when a team with Max Crosby and Devontae Adams, and he's
you want to build around
a
guy that's a 28 or 27-year-old
journeyman
a little bit. Like, I mean, but like this dude gets it, man.
He's Will Compton that can cover.
Oh,
just kidding, Will.
And can catch and can tackle.
No, Will can tackle.
Well, he got one sack.
And didn't he have an almost recovery?
Yeah, absolutely. And almost recovered.
Yeah.
So that was big.
Absolutely. So I want to give respect today to the guy that wears number 87. Talking about baby ghost himself, Michael Mayer, man. So I want to give respect today to Michael Mayer. Of course, he got his first touchdown in his NFL career. But so what I really loved, so I watched the Raiders game day post game stuff after the game with Eric Allen and JJ and all them. So they interviewed Michael Mayer, and he said, what a concept, man. You're a big, tall guy. Chuck it up there, let him get the ball. And so Mayer's talking, and he goes, it's funny. I've been telling Aiden O'Connell since minicamp, just chuck it up there. I'll get it. let me make the play. I'm a big guy. You know, I was lined up against a 5'10" corner. Just throw it up there. I got it. And so they were laughing. He said, you know, finally one time he listened to me. So, but I'm telling you, man, he also had incredible feedback on Aiden O'Connell. And you've heard it from now Devontae Adams. You've heard it from Josh Jacobs. You've heard it from Michael Mayer. This dude is cool as the other side of the pillow is what Devontae said.
Yes.
This guy is so calm, collected, all that stuff. Mayer was talking about even after the pick that Aiden O'Connell threw. You know, a rookie mistake, all that stuff, didn't get the right read from the defense. But, you know, apparently they went back to the sideline and Mayer walked up to him and was like, hey, man, you good? And he was like, man, don't worry, I'm already past it. We're going to win this game. Like, this dude's legit, man. I don't know what the future holds for this kid, if we're going to draft a rookie, you know, or draft a guy in the next draft, whatever.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about that. You and I were talking about that before the show.
Yeah, well, you know, so I mean, you know, I think, well, Caleb Williams might fall to us because he's lost 4 straight. You know, I don't know. I mean, he's still got good numbers and all that stuff, but we might see the cat out of LSU. You know, I mean, and I know Raider Nation has the PTSD of drafting LSU quarterback, and this guy is big, but he ain't Jabustus Fatback.
No, he ain't Fatback. No.
Yeah, but he ain't.
But he's
fat
like
back.
6'4", 210.
Yeah, he's a stout guy. He's a stout guy, but man, he leads the NCAA. Or no, what is he?
He's third.
He's
third.
third
We're
in the
talking about
NCAA.
Jaden Daniels,
yes,
of course.
Jaden Daniels, of course, from LSU. I like that guy, man. I like him. I like Penix. Penix might go number 1.
He's going to be your first quarterback. I think he's
might
your first
be the
quarterback.
first one off the board, man. So I don't know.
But anyway, when you look at the teams that are in the, if you just looked at the draft now, and we're getting on a little bit of a tangent, but when I get to Michelle's respect, when you look at the teams that are ahead of us in the draft, should the season end today, we're number 15, so we got 14 teams ahead of us. There are 5 viable first-round quarterbacks in this draft. So we're talking about Caleb Williams, we're talking about Michael Penix, we're talking about Bo Nix, we're talking about Jaden Daniels, and we're talking about what's his name, Drake May. Yeah. So those are the 5 quarterbacks, and there are like, what was it? Out of the 14 teams, there's
probably 6 that need quarterbacks.
Yeah. So what we need is like, but some of them are iffy. Like, you know, we're not sure with
Atlanta, with Desmond Ritter, and we don't know, you know, what are the Giants going to do with
Commanders?
The Commanders, they've got Sam Howell, and you know, I mean, the Giants are going to get a quarterback.
Giants are going to get a quarterback. Yeah, but there's a couple in there that could be iffy, and so that will determine then whether one of those quarterbacks is going to falter. So that said, I'm with you, dude. I don't know, like if it depending. It's going to probably depend on. It depends on free agency. You know, it's going to depend on if Kirk Cousins ends up getting traded or moved on from Minnesota. It's going to, I mean, there's going to be free agency to happen.
Yep.
So that will determine it as well. But listen, if Aiden O'Connell finishes out strong, and then I want to bring it back to Aiden because that's what your point was about. If Aiden O'Connell finishes the season strong, just like Antonio Pierce is going to earn that coaching job, I don't see how you could dethrone Aiden O'Connell. If he ends this season with a winning record and we're in contention for a playoff spot, you got to give the kid a chance. And I really want to, I don't want to say one last thing too, and then throw it to you, Michelle, for respect. So one of the things that was interesting about that pass to Michael Mayer, it's up, it's over the defender, and it's, you know, towards the side of the end zone, and it's in a position to where really only he can get it. And I had a conversation with some folks on Twitter this week, on the X this week, about that pass. And someone made a comment about how it was reminiscent of Derek in 2016 before he got hurt.
Sure.
And so I found a clip of him throwing it to the back of the end zone to Andre Holmes. Again, a big receiver. Derek put it in a spot where only he could get it. And my point kind of around it was that we hadn't seen that with any kind of consistency really since Derek got hurt. And the point wasn't that he never did it again, but with the regularity, we didn't see that. And now here we got a guy in his 3rd start ever that's already adapting to that idea that you don't have to throw it away. You don't have to chuck it out of the back of the end zone. You don't have to chuck it into the ground. You don't have to chuck it, dump it off to a running back. You can take a shot and give a guy, a pass catcher, the ability to go up and get the football. And it was really kind of funny. I wasn't even going to talk about this, but since I'm on the subject, it's funny. So I put this up, and it wasn't for Derek or against Derek. I wasn't taking a shot at him, nor was I saying he was the greatest thing ever. It's so funny that it's so inflammatory to even bring his name up nowadays. I had people taking runs at me, calling me a Stan, like, let it go. Like and then I had people taking runs at me and go, oh, I thought you were, whatever. You like both sides. It's so funny. You can't even mention his name on the X with literally getting both sides coming at me. It's fascinating. I'm like, I don't know. It's mind-boggling to me.
It
I'm like,
is
I wasn't even
fascinating.
arguing to one side or the other. I was just bringing up the point that it was like reminiscent of that, and it's been a minute since we saw that. And so it's so funny how people can choose to interpret it one way or the other, and either way, they're going to get their feelings hurt. It's just so wild to me. But anyways, I'm going to shut up now. Digress. Back to respect. Michelle, who do you got?
Okay, so this one seems so obvious, but I want to respect Antonio Pierce.
Let's go.
Recognizing.
Man, I've got.
Okay, let's clap it out. Let's clap it out.
Absolutely.
For recognizing that the Raider, that culture, that identity needed to be brought back to its original form. And he recognized that. And he represents the fans. And he also is able to recognize what the players need because he was a player. He can use their strengths and like put them where they need to be to succeed. And I just think he deserves all the respect for kind of bringing Raider Nation back to its original. Listen, I'm repping LA right
Let's
here.
go.
I mean,
here we go.
That's when I became a fan. So I just think he deserves so much respect for recognizing not just what the players needed, but what Raider Nation needed. Like he deserves all the respect for me.
Oh, that's
that was
awesome.
good.
Great call,
Could
Michelle.
not agree more.
Could not agree more. And so Michelle's over there repping the LA Raiders. Guess who's in the chat room repping the Oakland Raiders? Give it up for Stuart Swagger.
Hey, Stu Swagger.
Yeah.
Come on, Stu.
Shout out Stuart
Shout
Swagger.
out.
Speaking of Purdue, right? Speaking of guys drafted by the Raiders out of
Absolutely.
Purdue. Appreciate you, Brother Stewart. Appreciate you being in there. We appreciate your support of Raiders Fan Radio so very, very much. All right, so that's respect, guys. Let's see. What do we got here? We got
I got it.
Let's talk about the Raiders.
Let's
Do it.
Hey, Raider Nation, this is Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders.
And goes down, and Max Crosby, who forced a fumble last week.
You're listening to Murf, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you so much. Just win, baby.
Certain information, all right? Certain things have come to light, and, given the nature of all this new shit, this could be a lot more complex. I mean, it might not be just such a simple,
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm blathering about. I've got information, man. New shit has come to light.
All right, new shit has come to light. The Raiders freaking pull off the big W, Michelle, against the
did.
New York Jets in front of a home crowd.
Thank you, God.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
So good. So freaking good. And man, I'd tell you that game was exciting to watch. Oh, actually, before I jump in fully to the game, I want to shout out Mojo and want to appreciate Mojo. He says, One Nation Foundation 2024. Let's freaking go. Just win, baby, with a $20 donation.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mojo.
You rule.
As you know, 100% of that money, Mojo, goes directly to Raiders-related charities, like we started tonight with the Max Crosby Foundation, and appreciate you, my friend. And Mojo joined us last year at the Blitnikoff Foundation.
Yeah, he did.
Which was awesome to have him there at that, and appreciate that $20 donation, my man. All right, so as I mentioned, it was pretty electric. And we weren't there. We were there for the Giants game the week prior. It was pretty electric. You could tell it was a Raider crowd, and I think that is a dovetail in what you were talking about, Michelle, how Antonio Pierce has brought back what it is to be a Raider, and it's infectious.
Yeah.
And it's showing up in the crowd. After the game was over, he mentioned on a brief little video about, Raider Nation, you keep coming back, and we'll be here. I love the spirit that Antonio Pierce has brought. And listen, we haven't done one of these in a hot minute because it hasn't been what it once was. In some of the reaction videos, yes, but hear the audio. Listen to this crowd as Bob Spillane comes up with a pick at the end of this to close out this football game.
Come on.
Oh my gosh, it's
Come
so
on.
good. It's already loud, and then it just gets crazy. If that don't freaking fire you up, man, I don't know what does,
Telling
man.
you, man.
It was so freaking good. And so, so again, the Antonio Pierce effect is infectious. I don't even know how else to say it other than that, because he embodies what it is to be a Raider. We haven't really talked about this because we haven't been back in the studio here since we got back from Biletnikoff. Antonio Pierce, prior to the Giants game, had spoke twice in public. Once at his press conference and once at the Biletnikoff Foundation dinner. And, and I played the video last week, and so you guys have seen that and heard the audio of it. But I've never, I'll just tell you, I'm not the kind of guy to at an event like that, really, get out of whatever. I try to kind of stay in my space, and we had this great table there, right at the stage, right next to Fred's table. It was absolutely incredible. But when Antonio Pierce went up and gave that speech and he came walking off stage, I just got up and walked over there and shook his hand and and it wasn't like, hey, let's take a picture. It was like, thank you, coach. I couldn't be more appreciative for the spirit, what this man has brought to the team. And it's literally turned, I said this to Scott Gilbranson on our post-game show the other day. I've never been aware of this quick of a culture change. Now, we've seen football teams get better. We've seen teams turn around. But the culture and the spirit around the organization has literally done a 180 around one guy. Yeah. That's powerful leadership, Michelle.
It's so powerful. It's interesting. And Mark Davis has to be just smiling.
Oh, he's
thinking about that. I mean, he had to make some tough decisions, but man, thank goodness he did. And he's got to be thinking, okay, the trajectory shifted completely, and now we might be headed in the right direction. Because I know it had to have felt like a ship just off course, just way out in the ocean, about to die, and now
think about how we were feeling as fans.
Exactly.
Can you imagine what those guys in the locker room were feeling like?
And after seeing all the videos of them, just the celebration, I know a lot of people are like, oh, they just smoke as a guy, you didn't win the Super Bowl. F that. You kind of at least won knowing that now, thank you, you can be yourself. Being able to be yourself, the 180 is, it's almost, also, I think we should file a class action against McDaniels, because I feel like all of us, we probably spent money in therapy. He owes me money. He owes me money for the sadness that
right.
I
well, what's funny is that with McDaniels, I'm gonna bring him up. So here we go. Come on, X.
Well, I mean, hello.
But when Derek left, I stopped being a fan, but I became lesser of a fan based on all the stories that kind of came out after his departure, right? So it changed my opinion. I won't say that. I wasn't less of a fan because he was the Raiders quarterback, and I'm appreciative for his time in the silver and black. But my feeling and my take on it changed. My opinion of it swayed a little bit, And so that's where I'm at with McDaniels too. Now with all this stuff coming out and the response of and even though the guys were saying and shout them out.
Yeah.
They were Max and Devontae, they were saying the right things until it wasn't time to say the right things anymore. And then now that the truth is coming out, it's like, gosh, bless it, this guy was ass. He was terrible.
The worst.
He was the worst. And another one I hear on the X is oh, you were mopping up all the bullshit that Josh McDaniels was spewing and blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, he was our coach, so I supported him. I wanted him to do well. I'm never going to root against a Raider of any sort, anybody that represents and is trying to get W's for the silver and black. I will always support them until there's a reason not to. And we finally got to that point with Josh McDaniels. So guess what? My opinion changed. That's what happens. Things change. The story reveals itself, and my opinion changed. Uncle Mosh was in here a month ago talking about how he didn't want to move on from the coach, that you got to give him a 3-year span. And he's like, but I promise you, Uncle Mosh is probably, I haven't talked to him about it yet. I promise you, he probably feels a hell of a lot different today.
He's got to be.
You know what I mean? Because your opinions change based on the evidence that's been presented to you. So this whole idea that my opinion early on was, okay, I'm going to trust the guys and see where this thing can go. And that it doesn't mean that ultimately my opinion can't change later on when things don't go the way that you expect they're going to do, or you know what I mean? When you have a shortage of success, Jeff. And so I'm going to play this clip from of Antonio Pierce in the locker room, because he talks about this. He talks about what it is, and I'm telling you, I'm the biggest Antonio Pierce fan in the world. I hope you all are, and I'm already on the idea that he just needs to be our coach. This, the end.
Play it,
and then want to hear your comments, Jeff.
About their response.
Whoops, wrong one.
Yeah, I thought kind of everything we talked about, brick by brick, holes in our wheel, relentless. compete. Poise, we need some damn poise on that sideline. But more importantly, man, at the end, what was it? We was all here. Looking at the offense, special teams, and went down to the defense.
So anytime the audio cuts out, it's not me. It's them cutting the audio out because he's dropping some words.
And we made plays like we said. We were doing the thing. Hey, look, it ain't gonna be easy. We wish they'd all be like the first one, but they're gonna have to grind it out on something. We know we got corrections. You know what it is. Let's nip that in the butt. But you know what today, you know what I'm about to say next.
Players.
Say you wizard!
Proud of y'all boys, man. We don't blink, man. We don't blink, man. Y'all boys keep coming and get ready to put in that work, man. We gonna get everything that we want, bro. It's right in front of us. Now let's get it, man. Hey, family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Family. You know what I love about that? So you hear Josh Jacobs there at the end. So Josh Jacobs, who obviously played at Alabama. So we have a caller around here, Josh in the 703, which is Alabama. Same language, same vocabulary.
That's it.
So, but anyways, but talk a little bit about it, Jeff.
You know, I might be so bold to say that Antonio Pierce might be one of the Raideriest coaches that we've ever had. How many Raider coaches have you seen that yell, Raiders? We don't see that, man.
Raidery.
We don't see that stuff, man. But this guy gets it. He grew up a Raider fan, all that stuff. And yes, I know that he's not the Raideriest coach because we got John Madden, we got Tom Flores, we got
And Gruden.
you know, and Gruden and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We got, but like he's already kind of, to me at least, on the short list because he gets the mystique, he gets the culture, all that stuff. It's an amazing thing. You know, I would go as far to say, so let's wind the clock back a couple of years. A couple of years, man. So we were all super hype on Rich Bisaccia, right? You know, Rich Bisaccia rallied the team, got them together. We strung together some wins. We made the playoffs. He was a player's coach. He was a locker room coach. Everybody loved him. And then we moved on from him. Now, fast forward to present day. Antonio Pierce takes over. We go 2-0. He's a locker room guy. He's a player's coach. The guys love him. He's a former player. You know, all that stuff. He gets it. He understands these things. This guy is going to bring in more talent. If we keep, I mean, he needs to be hired. I mean, you know, fool me once, shame on you, you know, whatever. Mark Davis said he kind of maybe made a mistake with not bringing Bisaccia back. You know, well, now he's got his second chance right here. Don't blow up, Mark. And I don't think he's going to. Because, you know, and I would say that Rich Bisaccia was great. We loved that guy. Antonio Pierce is better.
Yeah.
He's better because he gives the same, hold on.
Okay. All right.
He gives the same locker room feel, the rah-rah stuff. I get it. And I understand that you can't win a million games in the NFL with that.
There you go. That's where I was hoping you're going to go. Yeah.
But doing that and understanding the culture and stuff like that, if you get your locker room to buy into the Raider culture and the Raider mystique and what it means to be a Raider and banding together, I mean, talk about smoking cigars. When was the last time we were smoking in the locker rooms? In the 70s and the 80s. Those are the great Raider teams, man. So if we're going to keep doing that, that's an amazing thing. But, like, he gets it, man. So, I don't know, man. Like,
Rich Bisaccia was the coach they needed then. But Antonio Pierce is the coach they need going forward.
Let's go.
Come on.
That's,
Love
I
it.
think, exactly what, like, he sort of set the tone, and now Antonio Pierce is going to run with that he's going to kind of carry that with him. And because I really think, I mean, the thing that I love about Antonio Pierce is he's like not afraid to acknowledge that maybe he doesn't know some things and that he's willing to learn some things. Like just hearing him talk about like going where the O-line is and like learning their the verbiage and the things that they use. And like he admits that maybe there's some things that he could do better or learn better. Like that is huge. And the players see that. And Mark Davis probably sees it. You know, like, I just think he's the coach that they need for the future. Bisaccia was the coach they needed at that time.
That's great, Michelle. That's so well put.
Could not agree more.
Absolutely, yeah. The great and shout out the chat room, Jeff, and let me know what's going on in there. What's the chat room thing?
Absolutely. So Ron the Moderator, Hooligan Nation, Paul, Ariel Zuniga, hooyah. Frankie Mosqueda, the Unholy Roller Raiders in there. Raider Loco, Tony Shefford. Let's see, Jordan Ford. JP Lacasse is in there, I think is what it is. Let's see, Salvo Ven is in there. Let's see, L. Brown Holio is in there. Rick is in there.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, Rick's in there. And
there's a 15%er right there.
Absolutely. So respect to our buddy Raider Classics in the chat, who says AOC4 really impressed me with the way he controlled the line of scrimmage with his hard counts. The New York Jets defensive line moved into the neutral zone twice and got no call. Shocking. But more importantly, a $5 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So
Thank you,
much,
Raider
much
Classics.
respect. Yeah.
Appreciate that very, very much. All right, Swaggo, let's hit a break and then let's jump into some more comments from Antonio Pierce.
Okay, let's do that.
What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Will Compton. You're listening to Raiders Fan Radio with my boys Murf, Swaggy Jeff, and Uncle Mosh.
Hey, Michelle.
Tune in because they fucking put out a banger podcast.
Next time he comes into the studio, we're going to have to
Absolutely.
He's going to record another one for us.
We're going to try to get the boy in here soon. We're going to maybe even have him.
Oh!
What?
Hey, so
Oh,
respect
hey.
to our buddy,
Yeah.
a good buddy, a friend of our show, Intel right there with a $100 donation to the One Nation Foundation. Intel, buddy, we cannot thank you enough, sir.
Thank you so
if you
much.
tuned in late, guys, so we started the 2024 donations off early in 2023. So if you tuned in, if you didn't see on the X, Max Crosby announced today that he started the Max Crosby Foundation that gives to the kids in that may need help with substance abuse and also help with pets and shelters and stuff like that, pet abuse. So we decided to start the fundraising early, start the donations early. We gave $500 on day one of the Max Crosby Foundation on behalf of you, Raider Nation, and the One Nation Foundation to the Max Crosby Foundation. So folks like Intel, Mojo, Raider Classics, all that stuff, we can't thank you enough because that helped with that and also with Bolitnikoff and Raider Dad and all that stuff as well. So much respect to you.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Yes,
very,
thank you.
very much.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yep.
That is so cool. All right, let's jump into some more of these comments from Antonio Pierce. Let's see here. Let me find my. I got so many things going on here. Oh yeah, here we go. This is funny. Let's do this one first.
Listen, when you got one of the best receivers in the game, I'm not stupid. I know who to get the ball to. 17-8.
So who's stupid?
I was gonna say, if that's not a freaking just a dunk on freaking Josh McDaniels, then I don't know what is. But I love that about. There's I don't want to call it a brashness because it's not abrasive, but there's a willingness for him to just say what needs to be said. He just
Love
call
that.
it what
And
it
were
is.
shots fired?
I love that.
Not really, right? It wasn't like a direct
And
shot.
he wasn't wrong.
Not a direct
But he wasn't
shot,
wrong.
but not an indirect. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
some other folks
Maybe
were.
a little bit of shots fired.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But that's a good way to do it. though.
1,000%,
There's a way
yeah.
to say something without saying something. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because there's the Sean Payton way of like when he called out Nathaniel Hackett and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
And it's,
yeah.
you know what I mean? But then there's this way to do it where it's like, yeah, I'm not stupid.
I'm not stupid.
I'm not going to tell you that someone else is.
might be, but it's not me.
Yeah. All right. So
I like what Ron says, subtle venom.
Oh, I like that,
Yes.
yeah.
Ooh,
I
that's
like-
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Good job, Ron.
That's the name of my 4th album. All right. Next up, let's check in with Antonio Pierce.
That was
Talking
my nickname in high school.
That'll be the name of my book when I
Subtle
write
Venom.
my
Yeah.
life book. Subtle Venom.
All right, let's check in with Antonio Pierce talking about this is post game, and here he is talking about. I love the way that he ends his comments here, talking about the culture of the organization, and again, cannot appreciate this man enough.
About their response tonight.
Yeah, I thought, at that point, we had the momentum. There's a play we worked in practice. It got our defense a couple times. It's kind of hard to see little DC right there. And obviously a great block by Josh Jacobs. But that's just believing in your team. Like, we're right there at the 50-yard line. Our defense was playing really good football. I felt we were controlling the game defensively, and kind of went with my gut.
The offensive line tonight, certainly had their hands full with the Jets, but that's one of the best defenses in all the NFL. So when you think about the fact Colton was out and who they were playing, how proud are you of that offensive line, Coach?
Very. I mean, we talked about that early in the week, obviously, with Miller being out. Big ups to Jermaine. Switching from right tackle to left tackle. Not easy doing that in the middle of the season, late in the season. He did it like a champ, gave us the best 5 that we felt to put out there to give us the opportunity to win the game. Just a lot of, what you see I think with this team is guys being, whatever it takes to do for one another, they're willing to do it. And that's what I'm proud about with them. It wasn't pretty at times, but they kept battling. They believed.
Coach Alan Snell here with LVSportsBiz.com. Can you talk a little about the extent to which the change of culture, the change of attitude has converted into 2 wins in a row now?
Well, I mean, it's football. You know, not everything's going to go your way. Nobody's trying to make a mistake. Nobody does anything on purpose to have a bad call or, you know, do something silly. And like I told these guys at the very beginning, we're all fortunate to be in the National Football League. We're all fortunate to work for a great organization, fan base, and alumni. And when you come to work every day, do it with a smile. Because one day that door's going to close, you're not going to be able to walk in there no more. And it was no different than today. Our fans, they kept us in the game. Their energy, their passion, their support throughout. That's what energized our guys at the end. And then if you watched at the very, the last 30 seconds, I think you saw our entire bench up on the sideline rooting on our defense, talking to Devontae right next to me, Josh Jacobs. I mean, all those guys are sitting there just rallying the troops. That's what this culture is about. It's about.
All right, there it is, man. Sorry, I got cut short a little bit there, but I loved. So there's a lot in there that I love about those comments. One of the things that stood out to me a lot was when he mentions Illuminor. Jumping from right tackle over to left tackle. We've had conversations with Taylor a little bit about Taylor Lewan about moving from left to right side, because there was actually conversation around Taylor in moving to the right side in order to play for some other teams or whatever. He said, I don't do that. It's like, and I heard him describe it one time as, it's like waking up in the morning and going and brushing your teeth with your other hand. It's just such an odd thing, and it takes a very unique individual with a special skill set to be able to do that. And so, listen, Colton Miller's, playing some of the better tackle in the NFL. He's not Trent Williams. I'm not trying to sell you that, but he's playing pretty darn good. And this team still hadn't given up a sack, or at least not in this game. Let's see. I'm going to find the stats here. Pretty impressive what this offensive line did, considering that he was hurt. Let's see. Where is it back-to-back? Let's see. Raiders allowed 0 touchdowns. Where's my darn notes? Ah, shoot. I had some notes on the. There we go. No, that's Robert Spillane. Oh, crap. Anyways, I apologize. I don't have it here, but it's the first. It's like the Raiders are on a historic run here in their own history in terms of defense is not getting to our quarterbacks. Like, they're doing a very good job of protecting. And what was one of the big criticisms of the Raiders coming into this, into this season was the play of the offensive line, just like we were critical of the freaking linebackers. So I love that Antonio Pierce chose to point that out, and the way that he spoke about the culture changing there at the end. I mean, I know that some people are asking about, like, whether it's on the X or even in the chat room there, it's too soon and he's got a lot to prove, and it's, he hasn't won a huge game yet, and blah, blah. I get all that, but I think that ultimately the spirit of it is what we're really leaning into, that it gives us something to root for that we can identify with. And being that we talked about the uniqueness of the Raiders and the uniqueness of being a Raider and even a fan, that's what's got us, I think, also fired up. So you guys got anything on it before we move on?
No, I don't think so. No. It was amazing, man. And like you said, man, Jermaine Illuminor, I think that's an unsung hero of this game. Because with our starting left tackle, our stalwart on the left side of the line right there, like, that's tough, man. And when we and the Jets defense was no joke.
Yeah.
It was absolutely no joke. So, and that D line especially, like, that D line is nasty, bro. It's so good. And I think Aiden O'Connell, how many times did he get sacked in the game?
I don't think at all.
I
think he did at the end.
Did they get him once?
At the end of the first half,
yeah,
because it knocked us out of field goal range.
Oh,
that's
right.
At the first half or whatever. But dude, they're keeping Aiden, and I feel like, and shout out to Scott Gilbranson, because he talked about, and maybe you as well, talked about the second. I feel like the defense clicked the second half of the Charger game. That was kind of the game that the defense was like, okay, we're going to lock in. We're going to make this happen. Well, I feel like the offensive line after that Charger game probably got together. They got Aiden sacked 6 or 7 times that game.
Yeah.
I feel like they came together.
Khalil Mack.
Yeah,
absolutely, right, man. So they kind of came together at that point.
Jordan Ford says they gave up 3 sacks. I apologize. I had a bad note in here. That's my fault. That's my fault.
All right. Well, anyway,
But they're still playing above
They're
their
playing
friggin'
above,
level. Yeah.
you know, and Josh Jacobs the last 2 games, you know, I mean, we're going to talk about AP, you know, he hadn't gotten a big win. The last 2 games were big wins, Raider Nation. Like, come on, man. We were 3-5. We were on our way to maybe 3-14. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because we got dog walked by 2-7 teams like the Bears.
My gosh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's not like we were
lost
freaking
30-12 to the freaking Bears. And yeah, I understand it's the Giants. I understand it's the Aaron Rodgers-less Jets, man. But like, come on, man. Like, be fired up. Those were 2 massive wins. Maybe not in the grand scheme of on paper, but for the nation, for this team, for the coaches, for Mark Davis, for Sandra, for everybody. Like, this was freaking massive. Like,
a win
come on,
in the
like
NFL
don't
is a freaking win.
Don't stick your nose up at that, man. Like, these were 2 huge wins, and it's momentum because I'm telling you, man. I think
that's the thing. I think that's the thing. Like, these 2 were sort of like the snowball win, and now the snowball they're clicking and they're understanding more things, and now they can go in maybe with a little more confidence into Miami, and a little more confidence with Kansas City at home. Like, I think, okay, guys, I know I said 13-4. That's what I said.
you did. Own it.
If
Own it.
McDaniels effed that up, I blame him. That's his fault that I didn't go 13-4. But I do believe that we have everything needed to beat Miami and Kansas City. I don't care if you think I'm delusional. I'll be that. I really do believe. Now, I think Kansas City at home, make it happen because it's at home. Like, make that happen.
Yeah.
Miami on the road, okay, a little bit
It's tough.
tougher, but they can still do it.
Absolutely. Well, and Trinidad in the chat had a great comment. Next step, win the games we're not projected or favored to win. That's an excellent comment.
Next step.
That's the next step. That's the next evolution of this. And granted, it's a rapid one because we're talking about 3 games here. But that's the thing. That's why we got these cigars now. Thank you, Michelle. Locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, watch the Raiders knock off KC or Miami.
Yeah.
And for any of those of you that are bitching about the Raiders not traveling to Miami, listen, we've traveled early because the Raiders were supposed to be in Orlando practicing this week, and then, of course, the game in Miami. Listen, man, we've tried to exercise this demon a million different ways. The Raiders have tried so many times to get over this schneid we've been on the East Coast, and I think Derek got us a couple. I can't remember what exact games it was. I feel like it was maybe the Ravens, at Baltimore. We're knocking them off. But anyways, there's been a handful in there. Well, not even a handful. There's been a couple, I think. And somebody fact check me on that chat room. You guys know more about football than we do, and that's why we love you. How many games have the Raiders won on the East time in the East, especially on the East Coast? So I'm talking Ravens, Dolphins, Panthers, like any of those. We have gotten smoked on those football games and have tried. I remember the game where we played Tampa Bay and Miami in back-to-back weeks, and Gruden kept us in Florida for a month or whatever it was. So, like, we've tried all those different things. If Antonio Pierce trusts his plan of getting these guys up early, getting to practice early at the exact same time that they would be playing the game, I don't see anything wrong with that. And I think being critical of it at this point, like literally when he made that announcement today, Jeff, on the X, there you had 800 comments of people going, oh, that's it. Dolphins by 30. You with little faith? Come on, man. Give the guy a freaking shot and give him an opportunity to know that he knows what's best for this football team and not Camaro guy 69 on goddamn Twitter.
Absolutely. Trust, what is it? Impala guy 64. That's AP.
Yeah.
That's our guy, man. That's our guy. So, trust the guy, man. Like, why not, man? You've seen these 2 wins. You've seen Devontae Adams dancing in the freaking locker room. You've seen the guy smoking the stogies. Like, come on, man. Like, they're fired up. They're ready to go. They don't go to Miami when you say, like, okay, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Let's make it happen. The culture's changed. This is Raider football, baby.
Yeah,
get with it.
Absolutely. Alfred Esparza in there says we can go on a serious run. Listen, I don't think that's too far-fetched.
Hell no.
I mean, if we win one of these next 2 games, I'm telling you, Raider Nation,
we head into the bye 6-6.
Oh,
bruh.
coming off a win against Miami and or the freaking Chiefs. I'm telling you, it's on.
My gosh,
it's
yeah,
freaking
God
on. And now
forbid 7-5 at the bye.
Well, and now you've got, Cleveland they're toast. They lost to Deshaun Watson for the year.
Yep.
They're toast. So, I mean, and they're playing Pittsburgh. Either one of those teams wins, we're in good shape. Same thing with this Buffalo and Denver game that happened last week. Any one of those teams won, we're in good shape. So now you've got the AFC wild card is just a jumbled mess. It's there. Anybody can come out. I think the Raiders have, I know, because I read it earlier today. The Raiders have a 4.5% chance of making the playoffs. That's it.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Saying there's a chance. And you know what? There was a similar chance in 2021, and look what freaking happened.
Absolutely.
This stuff happens all the time, and it's only, in a case like the Browns, you're one injury away from the entire, story and narrative around your season changing just like that. And so that's what we've seen with the Browns, and I'm telling you, it's happened already with the Raiders. Now, am I sitting here pontificating, telling you that, this is a slam dunk playoff team and we're going to ride off into the sunset and Antonio Pierce is going to be retained? And I keep calling him Brian Kelly. Shame on me. It's Champ Kelly. I said that twice on Silver and Black today. I said, because you got Brian Kelly, Chip Kelly, and Champ Kelly.
Right.
And a lot of, yeah.
Well, at least you didn't call him Champ Bailey like I did at the Bolitnikoff.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah.
No one was looking.
I've only ever called him Champ Kelly, so I just want to.
Okay, well, thank you, Michelle.
Thank you for all this.
That's why you're the anchor of this damn thing. Yeah. But so, am I gonna award these guys are the greatest ever? No. But what I am telling you is that there is no evidence to give us reason to doubt at this point.
Right.
There's nothing. There's nothing that I doubt about all three of the folks that are now leading in this organization, and especially Antonio Pierce and Champ Kelly, because they're making the decisions on the field.
Absolutely.
So let's just see where this thing goes. But right now, I'm encouraged, and there's nothing that tells us that when you're playing inspired. Yes, I understand the emotion is not sustainable. You can't play like that for an entire season and carry it into the next season. I get it. You got to have talent. But if you don't recognize that leadership and coaching matters,
right?
It freaking has such a huge
and we
impact.
have talent.
And we got some damn talent. We got a $140 million offense for crying out loud.
Absolutely.
It ought to be freaking slinging some points. And for those of you, too, that are like, the Jets suck, their defense doesn't.
Their
defense is one of the best in the league.
Yep,
and
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and I'll say this, too.
Please.
Our next two opponents, they're scary, man. The Dolphins and the Chiefs. But guess what? This season, we've seen them both bleed.
Yeah.
We've seen them both bleed. And if it bleeds, we can kill it. Absolutely, man. We've seen the Chiefs lose to the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's weird.
Division games are division games, man.
I'm telling you,
I know
man.
they've had our damn number, and especially ever since we did a lap around Arrowhead and the Bless, but it doesn't mean we can't do it again.
Absolutely. Well, and the last game, the Dolphins were in a bye week last week, but the week before, they scored 14 points. Tyreek Hill had a couple of fumbles that cost the game. You know what I mean? Like, they're beatable. They're not, it's not impossible to say, give me the Raiders. Give me AP all day long.
Absolutely. So, and Michelle, being that we're going into Miami, if we get waxed by, and listen, the Raiders are what did we see last, Jeff? 13.5 point underdogs?
Yeah.
13.5 points. The over-under on this game is 46.5 on a 13-point favorite in the Dolphins. Basically, Vegas and everybody other betting entity is telling us the Raiders are going to get smoked against the Dolphins. Well, watch that not happen. Now, if that does happen, all right, then I will fully acquiesce the idea that, you know what, we're not quite there yet. But if we go in there and there's no moral victories, there's no good losses, I'm not saying that, but if we go play a really good Dolphins team that's literally has a track team on offense, and we have some deficiencies in our secondary, and we can keep up with them, and Patrick Graham develops a strategy to go against these guys to where we can keep up with them, Michelle, I don't know how not to be freaking fired up and encouraged for that.
Yeah, I think things are clicking at just the right time. Yeah, should we have won a lot of games? Yes, we should have, but that's a different team. That's a team that was friggin' stifled and handcuffed by a overlord that was just really obsessed with himself and how he took care of things. So now you have a team that is clicking at the right time. I think we just had the 2 wins. They can go in, even if they give Miami, I think they beat Miami. But let's just say they give them a run for their money, because I think the defense is starting to click. Like, the defense is looking good. Say what you want to say, but they are holding their own against other offenses. Like, they are doing what needs to be done, and they can only go up from there. Like, and then Kansas City at home, I think that's a win because Raider Nation is going to show up.
Well, that's Iran in there says he thinks KC is a more gettable game than Miami.
I think so. No, I agree
and
with
you know
that.
what?
Yeah.
And I think because it's a division game. You
It's
know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's at home, and we don't have to
it's
travel
at
for
home.
it.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, I would not be shocked if we get one of these games going into the bye week. Hey, Swag Jeff, shout out the chat room, and then shout out some of these super chats. I know we've got a whole bunch coming in here.
Absolutely. So, so Frankie Mosqueda with a $2 donation.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Frankie.
Pineapple had a $20 donation.
Thank you,
in there.
Pineapple.
Much respect. John Ogle's in there. Carl Howard. Paul Dole is in there. Dole. Let's see. Jimmy Zebach.
And he had a good comment. And sorry, I cut you. Keep talking. I'm going to find it.
All right. Jimmy Zebach said, hey, I got to go get a drink. Can you guys stop for just a minute? Yeah, we're going to pause till you get back, pal.
We got you.
Ron the Mater Raider Paul. There's a lot of Pauls in here tonight.
There
A lot of Pauls.
You know?
That's
And then, of
good
course,
news.
the OG
Pauls and
Paul.
Jeffs. That's what Raiders Fan Radio does.
Absolutely. Crab cakes and Paul. Absolutely. Hey, so Raider Loco's in there. The good stuff is in there. Just Win Wendy is in there. Hey, Wendy. Let's see. Tony Shefford, Ariel Zuniga. Let's see. Wyo Raiders in there. What's up, Wyoming Raider? Jordan Ford, William Holcomb's in there. Let's see, man. We got the whole crew,
That's
bro.
awesome, man. So I can't find Paul's comment. Paul Dole? How do you
Dule.
Yeah,
Dule?
Sure.
I can't find his comment from before. So whatever you said before, say it again. Because it was a really good comment in there that I would like to feature. All right, we got to get into these sound bites, y'all. This is gonna we got to get moving through some of these sound bites, and then we're gonna jump into some of the stats of this. Let's see. Next up. All right, so we talked a lot about Bob Spillane already tonight. Let's check in with Spillane and some of his post game comments. One of the things we love about Amik, right, is the emotion that you get out of Amik, but it's passion. It's not weepy. Listen to Bob Spillane. Similar freaking energy here.
It's a dream come true. I poured my heart into this football. Yeah. So to be able to help my team win is a blessing.
I love, you could hear his voice cracks a little bit.
It did.
You know what I mean? Like this, again, we talked about it earlier. This is a guy who played with Will friggin' Compton in Tennessee and got cut from the Tennessee Titans. Of course, we know about his time in Pittsburgh where the Raiders pick him up from. And shout out Antonio Pierce you mentioned the comments that he made earlier about building a team around him. Antonio Pierce was also critical in getting Robert Spillane on this football team. That he basically sold the idea to Ziegler and McDaniels to bring him in, and the guy is absolutely balling out. So Spillane, he's got, of course, 3 interceptions this season. That's tied for most by any Raiders player since Reggie Nelson had 5 in 2016. The last time a Raiders linebacker had 3 interceptions in a season was 2007. That's when Kirk Morrison had 4.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Captain Kirk, and also Thomas Howard had 6. With Robert Spillane's 3 interceptions, he's also got 2.5 sacks. All Raider linebackers combined had 2 interceptions and 1.5 sacks the past 2 seasons.
Get out of here.
Oof.
Wow.
So with that 3 interceptions and 2.5 sacks and a fumble recovery that he's got this year, the only other Raider player to do that in a season is William Thomas in 2001. We're literally doing things that we have not seen. And we've talked about that. Anybody that's familiar enough with this show, you've heard me bitch forever about the fact that we haven't had a linebacker since Kirk Morris, Thomas Howard, and Robert Thomas. It's been an awful, awful long time since we had good linebackers and somebody to prowl the middle of the field.
Yep.
I know they tried to take a shot with Rolando McClain and that didn't work out. And we brought in different guys from, what was the guy that we got from Carolina, or the guy that went to Carolina? The guy was the leading tackler when Compton came in. Took over for
Whitehead?
him. Yeah, Tiger Whitehead. So we've taken shots at different players and tried to find, but have just crapped out. We've never had anybody that's been legit
Dude, and
since
this
I
whole-
mentioned Kirk Morrison until now, and it's freaking Robert Spillane.
And it's the whole core, man. Like, I don't forget about Divine Diablo.
El Brown Julius is Perryman. Perryman was
Perryman,
good.
yeah.
Except he freaking
just
targeted and got suspended.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, he had a decent year. But
Perryman. No, you're thinking of Perfect.
No, Perryman just got suspended.
Oh,
like,
he just got suspended.
Just got suspended.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Perfect was another guy we took a shot on.
We took another shot on that guy, and then he took shots
did.
at everybody else and
Yeah.
got suspended and kicked out of
Yeah,
the
this
league.
is like just happened.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
just last week.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's playing for the
what?
Texans.
For what? What did he get suspended for?
Freaking helmet to helmet,
Like,
dude.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Three
no
times.
kidding.
It was
Okay.
just,
It was his
like,
third
he had,
time or
like,
something.
3
Oh,
times
okay.
or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But don't forget Divine Diablo. Him and Spillane have like
Yeah,
kind of
come on.
become
Come
like
on. Yeah,
like a badass
yeah,
little
yeah.
duo
Yeah.
we got going on here. And shout out Luke Masterson that's also had some plays going on in here. Like this linebacker core has kind of become like, okay. Like I F with you, man. Like I mess with you, man. Like this is okay. Like this is pretty good, man. Like, and we kind of thought going into the season that the linebacker group was sus. A little suspect, man. Like, this is going to be our weak point. Are we sure we got the right guys? Well, go figure. AP brought in the right guys.
Well, what's really funny about that? So this used to crack me up. So once upon a time, Ken Norton Jr., right? Stud middle linebacker for the Niners and the Cowboys, was our defensive coordinator. Jack Del Rio, stud middle linebacker for the Minnesota Vikings, was our head coach. Reggie McKenzie, linebacker at Tennessee, and I forget where he played in his pro. Oh, the Raiders. Play with the Raiders, linebacker. And between those three guys calling the shots for our football team, we couldn't get a linebacker. Now you bring in Antonio Pierce, a linebacker, and he got us a damn linebacker.
There you go. And he's
Right?
bringing in more.
And he's bringing
You know
in
what?
more.
What did he do the first thing he became head coach? Him and friggin' Champ Kelly. What'd they do? They signed a couple linebackers. You know what I mean? Like, they get it. They get it.
They get it.
Defense wins championships.
Absolutely. Well, and Wyo in there says it's about time for us to have some dogs at linebacker. You aren't kidding.
Yep.
And this is something else. I'm telling you, I don't want to be just a total fanboy, but listen, man, I'm just going to own it.
Lean into it, Mark.
He's saying all the right thing. He even said when it comes to winning on the road, in terms of specifically beating the Dolphins, what travels? A running game and a good defense. And he's like, and we got it packed and ready to make the trip. Come on, man. Like all these like flashy offenses and all these, you see these incredibly athletic quarterbacks nowadays and all these things that are going on in the NFL, and everybody's like, oh, we need this and oh, we need that and oh, we need that. At the end of the day, when you see teams hoist the Lombardi trophy, it's because they got a good running game and a kick-ass defense and a guy that cannot turn the ball over. Under center. The end. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Well, you can have all the flash and highlights and all the other shit that goes on in the NFL. At the end of the day, if you have those three things, the end. That's it. Keep your turnover ratio up, convert on third down, score in the red zone. Like, some of those things, like, there are things that it doesn't matter what the composition of your freaking team is in terms of athleticism and whatever else. If you do certain things, you win games. And that's it. Run the ball, play defense, don't turn the ball over.
There you go. Ball
the
game.
end.
Yep.
Championships galore. And so that's what he's driving this team to be. And as long as he keeps driving that, I'm going to be freaking, I'm telling y'all, I'm so bought in. All right, let's hit a break and then we'll talk about something else.
Nobody enjoyed a good Donnybrook more than
Shout out
six-year
Spillane.
linebacker
Yeah.
Phil Villapiano.
Legit.
This is Phil Villapiano, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
Did you see Phil Villapiano
My guy,
tweeted
Phil.
out? He tweeted after the game. All he tweeted was his number.
Oh, well, of course,
41.
because he shares a number with him. Absolutely.
Badass.
Shout out Phil Villapiano, man. Dude went in when we interviewed him, didn't he?
Holy cow.
If you guys missed that.
Maybe that's what they needed.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
If you missed that, go check out our live broadcast that we did from the Bolitnikoff dinner and listen to the great Phil Villapiano like take a run at everyone.
Literally everybody in a Raider
Literally
uniform.
everybody in a Raider uniform. All right.
Especially one that wore 17 for
Yeah,
some
he
odd
that was-
reason.
that was surprising.
That was surprising.
I was a little surprised at that. I was like,
surprising.
come on, Phil. Like,
Yeah.
but that said, look what happened the next week because that was before that Giants game got played.
Yeah.
Now I'll bet you he's got a completely different take on what this locker room.
On a lot of players.
On a lot of players, okay, so overalls for the Raiders. So we're 31st offensively overall. We're 23rd offensive in passing, and we're 30th in rushing. But we're changing, Michelle. It's getting better. Josh Jacobs now has 214 yards, if I'm not mistaken, in the last 2 games. And had his first 100-yard game against the Jets, which is one of the best defenses in football. So absolutely doing fantastic there. Here's what's going to encourage us as fans, Michelle, going into this game, is that we know we're running the football well, as we mentioned, that can travel. Defensively overall, we're 17th. When was the last time we had a top 20 defense? You know what I mean? 17. We are 9th in passing. So pass defense, we are 9th. Now, I know we've played some bum-ass offenses, but we also played a bum-ass offense in the Bears that hung 30 on us. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So considering the context of the season, what's gone on the past couple of weeks, pretty freaking good. And then rushing, we're letting some guys go a little bit. We're 29th in rushing. But this defense is good enough, I think, to take care of business and at least keep the game close, which is all we need. Because if we keep the game close and we get this guy going next, Michelle, we're going to have a hell of a game to look forward to in Miami. And let's check in with our running back. Let's check in with Josh Jacobs, who had a visit with Bo Jackson, and take a listen to what they talked about.
So I talked to Bo Jackson this week, and he just told her, he said, man, you run a motherfucker over, you pick him up.
Love it.
He said, all right, I'm going to come back 40 seconds later. And I try to have that mentality today.
I love that.
Me too.
Run him over,
yeah.
Pick him up, and tell him I'll be back 40 seconds from now. That's so freaking badass. That's so badass. Yeah. But anyways, I freaking love the turnaround of Josh Jacobs. You know, I mean, I hate to call it even a turnaround, but because it wasn't his fault.
No, I think it's an unleashed.
There you go.
He was handcuffed, and now he's able to run like he's supposed to run.
Absolutely. Well, and like
I think that's everybody.
And like we heard, Antonio Pierce say, they're at the very top. I'm not stupid. 17-8.
Yeah.
The end. That's what this offense is going to go through. So all right. So we heard from 8 there. Now let's check in with 17.
Devontae, what you think of the poise and leadership of your rookie quarterback tonight?
It was impressive, man. I mean, he's cool as the other side of the pillow. Dude, he's not a rookie. By years he is, but by action and like you said, that poise that he has in those type of situations, you don't see that often from a rookie quarterback. I mean, like I said last week, where he commands a huddle, where he talks to us, the communication, the confidence, throw a pick down there and early on in the game, and then the way he bounced back is impressive. So I'm glad he's our guy.
You can't get a more ringing endorsement for Aiden O'Connell, can you, Swag?
Absolutely, man. And you hear it throughout the entire locker room. It's not just Devontae, man. Everyone's kind of all in on AOC, and it started with Antonio Pierce. Right away when he took the position of head coach, he said, hands down, it's AOC 4 moving forward, man. And
I'd love that he didn't balk at that. You didn't get coach speak. You didn't get, I don't know, we're going to take a look at the guys in practice. We're going to kind of do our evaluation. Nope, he said,
moving forward, it's
the guy.
Aiden. It's Aiden, absolutely, man. And you hear it, and you see Devontae. Devontae had a big game. He didn't reach the end zone and stuff like that, but they were feeding him the rock. And man, that catch in the first quarter, and I think you talked about it on Silver and Black today, man. That ball that
looks like it was sailing.
Absolutely. Well, so Aiden gets the ball. He stumbles. I don't know if he got stepped on or whatever, but he tripped going back and chucks it up there, and what a freaking concept. Throw it to the best wide receiver in the NFL, and he's going to go and get the ball and get a 30-yard gain or whatever. Come on, man. What a freaking game, man.
Beauty,
man.
My
gosh.
So
and he had a
good.
couple of those in the game, man. That's vintage Devontae, man. That's good shit.
Absolutely.
That's how you develop and build up a rookie quarterback.
Yes.
You show them that you trust that they're going to get you the ball. You don't throw them under the bus. You don't make them feel like a rookie. You give them the respect that they deserve as a man in the NFL, and they go out and they perform. That's how you build them up. That's how you do it.
And that confidence is being built early,
Exactly.
Michelle. You see a catch like Devontae.
Yeah.
You see the freaking,
Mayer catch.
Michael Mayer, jumping 12 feet in the air to go get the ball, man. That's what it's all about. We're building this kid's confidence, man. I'm expecting big things for the rest of the year for this kid, man, because he's developing that rapport with his group.
Absolutely.
His confidence is building too from each one of those plays.
And what's the best freaking, what's the best friend to a rookie quarterback? A running game, a good tight end, right? Like those are the things that are going to help him out, man. So I'm with you guys, man. It's really hard not to
so hard
not to freaking temper expectations, man. But I'm telling you,
I'm leaned into it, bro.
I think that's the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it.
Delulu, #Delulu. That's me.
All right, Swag. Let's go ahead and hit a break, and then let's jump into some media comments. And this is going to be a 2.5 hour show, I guess, if you guys are cool.
Okay.
Hey, this is Pete Koch, former Los Angeles Raider. Yeah, back in the old days, baby. And you're listening to Murf and Uncle Mosh, who happens to have the same hair as me. Check it out, Raiders Fan Radio.
I've got to start the Monday morning with a shout out to the nation. A quick shout out to the nation. And no, I do not mean Jardiance Nation. That does not exist. Bam. I stopped you dead in your tracks. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not a thing. You know that's not the nation that I'm talking about. You know exactly what nation I'm talking about. I'm talking about Victory Cigar Nation. I'm talking about Autumn Wind Nation.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the fully liberated Raider Nation. I saw them yesterday in Vegas. And I saw Jets fan too. We're not talking about them. Well,
Hell
we
no.
will. But we're talking about the Raider Nation. The proud supporters of a 500 football team. And a 2-0 interim head coach who is not named Josh McDaniels. Got to give it up to Antonio Pierce. He's more than just not Josh McDaniels. He's doing and saying the right thing. He is slamming the right buttons. He is bringing the right attitude and swag and vibe.
Hey.
And as a result,
Shout out swag.
this looks like a completely different team. I said after week 1, I thought they looked like a completely different team. But then again, what did they really do? They slapped the hell out of the Giants.
Yeah, they did.
So? But then again, what did they really do yesterday? They beat the Jets. So? But they do look like a totally different team. No, that was not the most aesthetically pleasing win ever. It was not pretty. But Raider Nation does not need pretty. Raider Nation has never been about pretty. Raider Nation just needed some damn dubs.
Come on.
Raider Nation just needed some damn dubs, and that's exactly what they got 2 weeks in a row. And you know what? It's pretty impressive. I mean, it's one thing to axe a coach and then get a 1 week boost from fires being lit under their asses. It is another thing to axe a coach and then have the entire vibe and identity of that team change right there on the spot. And that's exactly what's going on in Vegas. Again, when they run into somebody a little more formidable, then this might have a different kind of result. But I'm just talking about the way they carry themselves. They love their jobs again. They love their teammates again. They love everything again. Just ask Davante Adams. In fact, you don't even need to ask him anything. Just look at the dude. He looks like a completely reinvigorated, rejuvenated, totally different dude altogether. Think back 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, Davante was sitting slumped in his locker, speechless, unable to even find the words and put them together to describe the frustration and the misery of being a Raider. Now, he looks like the happiest dude ever. Now, he's even being used properly. Finally. And Antonio Pierce is not shy about dunking all over my guy Josh about that very point. I mean, the entire team being galvanized behind their hatred for Josh McDaniels really is something else.
It really is.
It really is.
That's bananas, man. So anyways, good stuff there from Romy. I used to be a big Rome junkie, man. I listen to Rome all the time. But anyways, point being, though, around his takes, I thought right there were awesome. We don't need to win pretty. Just get wins. And I love the comments, too. Again, go back to Antonio Pierce. What builds a winning culture? Winning What a concept, Swag.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's all about, man. And, you know, I feel like, so this 16-12 victory over the Jets, that was old school Raider win.
Come on.
You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't flashy. It wasn't great. It was a defensive battle. You know what I mean? Which, you know, I can't remember the last time that the Raiders were in a defensive battle kind of game, man. Like, I mean, we didn't allow a touchdown. That was the first time since, 2021 against the Browns, I think. There was like that rainy game against Baker Mayfield. That was the last time that the defense didn't allow a touchdown. So, like, I mean, come on, man. Like, that's awesome. And, you know, and to stretch it even further, Antonio Pierce in his career as the Raiders head coach has allowed 1 touchdown in 2 games. That's badass shit, man. That's really, really good.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up, Jeff, because
you're welcome.
I've got it here for you. The last time the Raiders allowed 0 touchdowns in back-to-back games was November of 1992, when we beat Seattle 24-3, and we beat the Denver Broncos 20-0. So I'm gonna give you some. So I mentioned all the defensive rankings, Michelle, earlier, but listen to some of these defensive stats. So the Raiders allow 0 touchdowns. Shout out Swag Jeff in a game for the first time since 16-6 win versus the Browns in 2020. The Raiders also have held. Raiders hold back-to-back opponents to 12 points or fewer for the first time since 1998. A 7-6 win against the Chargers on October 11th and a 27-10 win over the Bengals. I don't care who your opponents are. It's the NFL.
That's right.
It just
Everyone's
doesn't matter.
good.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so to be able to do things that are literally things that we haven't seen in 25 years, we can't downplay that.
Yeah, shout out Patrick Graham. You know,
Shout out
for-
Patrick
we haven't
Graham.
brought him
we
up
haven't brought
yet.
him
Thank
up,
you.
but you know,
Thank you.
How many?
he's getting
Raise your hand
fired.
if you wanted to see him get fired. 6
Not
weeks
that
ago?
long ago, yeah, within the last couple months, like shout out to him for getting everybody on the page. I mean, I don't know like what his relationship with McDaniels. I forgot his name, McDaniels. But for him to continue
McFat-eared,
to miss him,
clown-faced
golly,
jackass.
I'm gonna punch him,
Dickhead.
there it is. But yeah, I like to get them, just continue to keep them going through all of the adversity that's happening and all of the things that they've come up against. Shout out to him for getting this defense to the level that they're at and the level that they're going to continue to go to.
Absolutely. And we talked about how infectious it is. Some comments from can't get more GOAT than Tim Brown. Your all-time leading receiver in everything,
Come on, Mr. Raider.
statistically. And Mr. Raider had this to say. Tags Antonio Pierce and the Raiders. Yeah. Congrats on another win. It's amazing the energy and heart the boys are playing with now. Players win games, coaches win championships. You can't be physically great if you are mentally jacked up, and I should know.
Oof.
Oh,
I mean, listen.
Come
Talk
on,
about a ringing
dude.
endorsement. Yeah.
Talk about a ringing endorsement. I think that illustrates exactly what you're talking about there, Michelle. Last couple notes on Antonio Pierce. He joins a group of Raiders coaches to win their first 2 games with the team. Al Davis, John Madden, Art Shell, Rich Bisaccia, Bill Callahan, and then Mike White. Joshua McDaniels. While Antonio Pierce has 2 wins in his first 2 games, Josh McDaniels had 2 wins in his first 9 games as a Raider head coach. This is the 7th time since 2003 the Raiders are 500 or better after 10 games. The last times were 5-5 and 21, made the playoffs. 6-4 in 2020, we finished 8-8. 6-4 in 19, we finished 7-9. 8-2 in 2016, and of course we made the playoffs at 12-4. 6-4 in 2011, we finished 8-8. 5-5. 2010, we finished 8-8. So, history doesn't always inform your present, but I think that's a pretty good indicator that we got a shot. We got a shot to make the playoffs.
Good shot.
Out of those 6 seasons, 2 of them we made the playoffs, and really one of them we narrowly missed it because if I remember right, that was the 2011 season. That's when Jason Campbell got hurt, and we were like 8 and. Somebody in the chat room remember. Sorry, man. All these seasons are getting muddy in this old brain up here now. But I think we were like 8-2 and lost, or like We lost 4 out of the last 5 games, I think is what it was. To finish
that was
8-9.
2011?
Yeah, there was Hugh Jackson. That was when Al Davis passed away.
Yep.
And then Hugh Jackson was the head coach, and Jason Campbell got hurt because I think we were.
Yeah, he got hurt, and then we
were
brought in
6-2.
Carson Palmer.
We were 6-2. That's what it was. We were 6-2, and then went freaking. What is the math there? Then we went 2-6 to close out the season. That's what it was.
Thanks, Carson Palmer. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Anyways. But Salvo Zen in there said, so you're saying there's a chance? Absolutely.
There's more than
100%,
a chance,
brother.
guys.
There's absolutely a chance. Okay. Last thing I'll give you just a couple things on or just one actually on Aiden O'Connell to Michael Mayer. That is the first. Listen to this, guys. First touchdown pass since 1991 from a rookie to a rookie.
Oh, what?
Really?
Touchdown passes from a rookie to rookie since 91.
Damn.
Oh, no. I take it back. It happened 2 other times. Aiden O'Connell to Michael Mayer, but you got to go back to 2013. Got to go back 10 years when Matt McGloin did it to Michael Rivers. Rest in peace, Michael Rivers. Oh, and also rest in peace, DJ Hayden.
Oh, damn.
I should have mentioned that at the top of the show.
Sure.
Raider in peace to DJ Hayden. And then Jamarcus Russell to Zach Miller in 2007. So 3 times. So I apologize. 3 times since 1991. It's still.
Yes.
This most recent one's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we don't have rookie quarterbacks a lot of
Well,
times.
I was going to say, because Derek Carr was the quarterback for how many years?
That was it. And prior to him, it was Andrew Walter.
That's right,
It was Aaron Brooks. It was like, you know what I mean?
That's
it was
right.
Dante Culpepper. It was like, I mean, we can go down the veteran list there, man. It was a whole bunch of different guys. Kerry
Revolving
Collins.
door, yeah.
You know what I mean? We had a whole bunch of them in there.
True.
So, because, it was all veterans between Jamarcus and Derek. And then now here we are at Aiden.
That's right.
So you got to go back to 07 when we drafted Jamarcus. I mean, and then before that, I mean, I don't even know. Because before that, you're getting into the Gannon years. And then you got Haas before that. And all that. You know what I mean? Like, I think you got to go. Maybe Marinovich. Again, chat room, pick me up here. If you guys know, I think we probably went Marinovich, Jamarcus, and then freaking, I know Matt McGloin in there, but he wasn't drafted to be a starter.
Right.
But then Derek. I think that might have been.
Connor Cook and all that.
But again, drafted, but not intended to be a starter. You know what I mean? So like they were rookie guys that the Raiders have drafted, but not first rounders or second rounders in Derek's case to be, you know what I mean? To be drafted as the starter of the team. I don't know, it'd be fun to go back and look at that stuff. But anyways, great stuff there from the Raiders. And again, to go back to the notion, things are changing. These are things that are happening now that haven't happened in an awful, awful long time. All right, I got 2 more sound bites to get to, and then I have to shut up so we can get into the Sea of Fans mailbag, where we hear more from you and less from us, which is always a good thing. So we heard from Jim Rome. Let's check in with Kay Adams, formerly of Good Morning Football, and now she's got her new show Up and Adams. Love her. She's great. She's great. She got Taylor on all the time now.
Yeah.
She's got Gronkowski on there every week. Like, she's got some great interviews. And, of course, we miss her on Good Morning Football, but her new show is fantastic as well. And let's check in with Kay Adams and hear her comments about the Raiders.
The last 2 weeks, and by the way, it is working. The other sort of pattern that we see under Mr. Pierce, as it should be, Mr. Linebacker, is just the defense is playing much better, and they have good pieces. And I know it's the Giants and the Jets, and that's the punching bag right there. Like, come on, relax, it's them. But they've allowed just 1 touchdown in 2 games. I don't care who you're playing. I don't care who you're playing. That is very impressive. So we'll really get a sense now for how good this Raiders defense is, how improved they can keep the mojo going over the next 2 weeks, because they got some high-flying offenses rolling through. They got the Dolphins and the Chiefs. And if they even win one of those, this Raiders team is in the mix down the stretch.
Come on, Kay.
Come on, right?
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely, man. I mean, I said it earlier. If we go 6-6 headed into the bye week, and we've got the rest of the season is winnable games. I mean, it wouldn't be unheard of for us to not lose after the bye. You got the Vikings without Kirk Cousins. Yes. Shout out Josh Dobbs.
Dobbs is balling. He's balling.
Josh Dobbs balling, man. Shout out University of Tennessee, man. Like, he's doing good stuff, man. But, that's still a winnable game. Yep. You got the Chargers again. You got the Colts. You got them totally winnable games. We're going to have the Broncos again.
Watch that damn Broncos game at the end of the year be for a playoff spot.
Right?
Yeah.
That would be insane. Much like how we finished. Now, Granted, when we finished against the Chargers, which we were all at, Michelle.
Yeah.
Winner go on, loser go home.
Yeah, me and Uncle Mosh and you and Lamont were there at that game. It was incredible. And so, yeah, it was one of those, or both, if it was a tie, that both teams were going to get in. And, of course, the Raiders played for the win. And that was a pretty epic moment in Raider history, especially of recent history. But, yeah, I think it's a very, very feasible scenario. The way the Donkeys are playing, friggin' Donkeys are turning it around, man. I mean, they were, talk about a train wreck. You know,
they were ass.
You're going from a team that had 70 points hung on them, and now they're beating Buffalo in Buffalo.
They beat Buffalo
Come
in
on,
Buffalo.
man.
They beat the Chiefs a few weeks
Sean
ago.
They beat the Eagles.
They beat the Eagle. Like, bro.
Dude, right? Didn't they beat the Eagles too?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I think that's 2 of their wins.
Is it?
Shout out, yeah, pick me up here, chat room.
Good for them.
I think that's 2 of their wins. I think they beat the freaking Eagles too.
Damn, really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, they'll still lose to us.
Yeah,
They will.
better.
They're
They
gonna
better. But
absolutely
yeah, we
lose to
got to
us
beat the damn
for
Donkeys.
sure.
All right, let's check in with. So speaking of Good Morning Football, let's check in with Good Morning Football. And so former Giant great Sean O'Hara has his comments about the Raiders.
Come on. Two weeks in a row, Antonio Pierce takes down a New York team. You can't write the script any better. And I love what he's done to the players. Like they own the team now. Like he's empowering them. And you mentioned Spillane, Robert Spillane. They were gushing about how much Antonio Pierce loves Spillane. This interception right here is phenomenal. I mean, look, everybody's gonna trash Zach Wilson for it's a.
I'm so stupid. It was the Jets that beat the Chiefs and the Eagles. It's not the Broncos.
But the Broncos beat the Chiefs and the
But
Bills.
they beat the Chiefs and the Bills. Yeah,
Right.
not the Eagles, though. I conflated that in my little brain here.
It's okay. You're not a Bronco
This
fan.
is a hell of a play. This is a hell of an interception, the way that he closes on this. And look, Antonio Pierce, one of the smartest linebackers I've ever played with or against. I feel like Spillane's probably got a little bit of that in him now, and he's channeling all that.
He's money.
But to me, the biggest thing that came out of this game was we saw the NFL's leading rusher from last season. Like, we saw him ball out 2 weeks in a row now. Josh Jacobs has 214 yards rushing in the last 2 weeks. This was his first 100-yard game all season long. AP knows it. Like, Devontae Adams, my best receiver. My best running back is Josh Jacobs. And the thing that just blows my mind is that how is it that it's taken this long for them to figure out, like Josh Jacobs, this is where the offense needs to go. They did this, mind you, without Colton Miller, the best left tackle, their best offensive lineman, Jermaine Luminor filling in there. But Josh Jacobs, man, that guy's running like a totally different man the last 2 weeks.
500.
You got to give a lot of credit to Antonio Pierce. Got to give credit to that offensive line for doing a good job. But Josh Jacobs is running angry.
All right, Jeff, before we get into the Sea of Fans, we got a little bit of a reveal here, don't we?
Absolutely, man. So we should have done this. Shame on us at the top of the show. So we were talking about the Biletnikoff Foundation and Antonio Pierce and all that stuff. So if you didn't catch our live show at the 2023 Biletnikoff Crab Fest dinner, go back on our YouTube, go back on your podcast, check it out because it's amazing stuff. We got to talk to the likes of Fred, Phil, Jim Plunkett, Shooter McGavin for a second, Dennis Mike Haynes, who that's Murph's new
so
fan
cool,
or man
Oh, my
crush
gosh.
for sure.
I just want to stare into his dreamy eyes.
Yeah,
again.
you do. Yeah, you do for
He was
sure.
precious.
But and
He really
shout out
was.
and
He
shout out.
He was
What the
precious.
nicest. You know, I'll joke.
he's a good
Jokes
dude.
aside, what a nice man. Like that was a pleasure.
Good
to
dude.
meet
Really
him.
was.
He's a really good
Precious.
dude, man. And so you know, in the rewind the clock back a year, we got to talk to Lincoln Kennedy last year for just a moment. But this year we got to like sit and kind of dig in with him a little bit.
Yeah.
And Michelle and I were just kind of staring like, you know, we didn't get a word in, but you and him were going back and forth, and it was amazing. Like, it was such good
His
stuff, man.
insight was
His
just really
insight,
awesome.
because you guys were talking about, you know, what kind of coach needs to coach the Raiders. Like, is there a unique guy that needs to cut? And like, your guys' talk on that was so good. So,
man.
but all that being said, we got some folks to sign this jersey, man. So be on the lookout. The Summer of Swag will be here before you know it, boys and girls. And this thing is amazing.
So read off the signatures that are on there for the audio listeners.
Yeah, so for the audio listeners, I'm holding up a custom One Nation Foundation shout out Silver and Black Collectibles that sent us these jerseys. Says One Nation Foundation 2023 for the year, but it's signed by the likes of Dennis Abear, All-State guy.
Haysbert.
Hayes Bear.
Shout out Serrano from Major League if you need him.
There you go, Major League 24. He's the president in that show 24. Lincoln Kennedy's on there, of course. The one and only Fred Biletnikoff, Phil Villapiano, Shooter McGavin himself, Chris McDonald, our head coach Antonio Pierce, number 58.
I love it. He put his number.
58.
That's cool.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Of course, Hall of Famer Mike Haynes and Jim Plunkett, Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl 15, by the way. So be on the lookout.
Hold it up. Let it linger, man. Let the folks soak that in.
Can I tell a funny story about that Biletnikoff? Okay,
yes.
So when we went to I went to see if I could get my picture with Antonio Pierce, and so we took our picture.
Jeff, please.
And he was so kind to have it. We had a little conversation, and I was like, I said something about that it spoke to his leadership, like that Mark Davis chose him, and he was. And I actually said, because I'm Michelle and I F-bomb sommelier, I said,
thank you, Jeff.
Go. And he was like, right? And he was like, I was on stage, so I wanted to like watch my language, but he was like, yeah. And he was like, and then he just started talking about, he was like, when I got the call, he was like, I've been to the left and I've been to the right, but I ain't never been upstairs. Like when upstairs called, I was like, that's where you get
we were
go,
chopping
right?
it up with
he was
him.
Like, you go upstairs, that's where you get let go. And he was like, and then, Mark Davis said what he said, but I was like, man, he was just so open and kind. And like, he was just so funny.
And shout out to your husband.
Oh,
like I had more fun
watching him and Lamont.
watching AP and Lamont chop it up.
They talk
like Lamont, and like Lamont is like
He's
maybe
so
the
smooth.
coolest guy on the planet.
He's always the coolest guy in the room.
He may be my favorite guy ever. Like he was just he walks
Gosh,
up.
Jeff, I thought we were besties.
It's Lamont, though.
But
Come on, let's be honest.
But it's Lamont, man.
No,
so
you're
Lamont,
right.
I'm
Okay,
standing there. We're all talking or whatever, and Lamont isn't saying anything. And all of a sudden, he looks at AP and goes, "Hey, man, I'm looking forward to what you're gonna do, bro."
Yeah.
That's all he said.
And then they just
AP,
locked on.
They clicked. They got it. He was like,
it
"Hey,
was
man,
hilarious.
appreciate it, brother." And like they dabbed up and all this stuff. I'm like,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
like
it
I
was
like
really
I
great.
like had to like wipe tears away.
Right.
Like it was like such a beautiful,
It was
amazing,
just so cool
badass moment
for him to just communicate.
absolutely.
And he just was a really
and then-
fun guy to talk to.
And much
Dude.
respect to because Jeff then says, "Hey, we've got these jerseys over." So we have 4 of those jerseys that Jeff just flashed. Well, actually, we got 3. Because Michelle's going to have one framed up and put it in Michelle's cave. But so we have 3 of them to auction off here on the show. And so Jeff said, "Hey, we got some jerseys. We're going to auction these off."
He
for the
didn't
foundation.
hesitate.
He didn't hesitate.
He said,
goes,
"Let's go right
He
now."
goes, "Where are they at? Where are they
Yeah.
at?" I'm like, "Oh, back there in the corner where we did our show." He goes,
did
He
not.
goes, "Well, F it, man. Let's go now."
Yeah.
Let's go now.
Yep.
I'm like, okay. And like, he's surrounded by like, oh yeah, Mark Davis is over there,
Right.
Champ Kelly, Sandra Douglas Morgan's hanging out right there. All these people are standing in line waiting to take photos with the guy and all that stuff. And he's like, "Where you at? Let's go."
And he bounces to
And
go
he
sign our
bounces,
stuff.
that.
And so me, Michelle, Lamont,
cool.
and AP are over there chopping it up over in the corner of the Biletnikoff Foundation. He's signing jerseys. I'll tweet these out. I've got some
We've got pictures
I
of him
think I
doing
took
it.
him
pictures
signing
too. Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
and all that, man.
So
It's
cool.
freaking
No
badass.
JSA certification needed.
No,
We
it
got-
was right there.
And what's kind of cool is if
but
and if
we
you
will
watch the
get 'em- we
video,
will get 'em
we will get a
certified,
JSA.
but-
But
Yeah,
if you watch the video, you can kind of see in the background after they get done interviewing with us, these guys get up and go over, and you can
right.
see them right there signing everything. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
anyways,
Super cool.
Absolutely. Well, hey, Murph.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, that's cool.
No. Hey, it's been an hour and 49 minutes. Let's hear from them
Let's
because more
please.
of them and less of us
Oh,
is a good thing. Let's
yeah.
get to the Sea of Fans mailbag.
Clock in, Michelle.
All right.
There he is, baiting,
Shot,
looking.
couple of happy dads.
He's under the gun.
Couple of
Inside,
high
he
news.
throws. It is.
We need one of these moments this weekend. Yeah, we do.
All right, as Jeff said, more of you and less of us is a good thing. And this is where we jump into the Sea of Fans mailbag and get to hear from Raider Nation. And you can email us at show, that is SHOW at RaidersFanRadio.com. And if you email us an indefinite amount of times, you can become a made man or a made woman. And we have 2. Count them 2.
Oh, nice.
New made men tonight.
Okay.
So we appreciate so many of the emailers. And again, email us anytime, show, RaidersFanRadio.com. You can also call us. 909-345-3346. And if you leave a message and we play it on the show 3 times, then you can become a made man that way. Van City Raider, we got you in the wings, man. Waiting to hear from you. We know you've got a couple in. Want to hear from you one more time, and you'll be next on the list. But in the meantime, we have 2 tonight. One is going to be Ariel Zuniga, and one is going to be the Raider Lorian. Nice. So I'll save the music until we hear from both those guys on the emails. But Michelle always does an amazing job reading the emails. And Michelle, who all do we have tonight?
Right. So first we got Hooligan Nation.
Hooligan.
At 11:58 a.m., which it said 3 hours ago, but I guess that was a while ago.
Oh, okay.
All right. What's up, RFR crew, Murf, Swag Jeff, and the world-renowned F-Bomb Grandmaster, Michelle. Wow. That was a great week to be a Raider. First off, the Black Hole, the League of Bandits, J-Lock crew, and so many others all outdid themselves. Taking my son to his first game was an amazing experience. Nice. And as the hours went on, you could that is super cool. Went on, you could actually see his fandom grow. Getting to meet Bo with him was just fantastic. Something we'll never forget. The icing on the cake, however, was that Spillane interception. Oh. That allowed us to go ahead and get the win. Now, I'll be honest. Bob didn't get the cheers he fully deserved for winning us the game, but to be honest, by that point, we damn near lost our voice yelling for the defense. It was loud enough, though, because for the first time in Allegiant Stadium, I do believe the silver and black scared the gang green into staying home and achieved a home field advantage. Second, I'm more and more impressed with AOC, and can we talk about him having a better QBR than Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, and Hurts when playing the Jets? Yeah. Yet for some reason, I still see people asking if we think Jimmy Glassjaw gives a better chance to win this Sunday. What? And finally, I watched a coach in tune with his players, walking to every single player and shaking their hands pregame. I saw an owner out on the field. Yeah. I saw Cube pumping up the nation before kickoff. I saw every aspect of our team working together to gain a win. Now, I know without a doubt that the next 2 weeks are going to be a big hill to climb, but now I truly believe there's a chance for us to win any given Sunday. We can beat the Finns, and we can scalp the Queefs before the bye. So don't give up hope, Michelle. I know 13-4 is gone, but that doesn't mean we couldn't get in the playoffs. Yep, you heard me. Playoffs. To the RFR crew and the entire Raider Nation, thanks for keeping the dream alive. Yours truly, Hooligan Nation.
Nice job, Hooligan.
Nice. Oh, is this it? Did he send a picture?
Yeah, so that's a picture of him and his son there at the game.
Can y'all see that?
I love his
the makeup.
His makeup
that's
there.
So cool.
Reminds me of like a Clockwork Orange kind of thing going on there.
Oh, yeah, I do love that.
Well, and I love how he says it, and it's just like the Raiders.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Yeah,
every single time.
Every time. Bitches. Every time. All right, next we have James Williams.
Hey, James.
Good morning, Raiders Fan Radio. Happy Victory Monday. Always celebrate a win and never apologize. I hope Amik Robertson is okay. It was scary to see him down like that. Get well, Amik.
Yeah.
But that was scary. I hate seeing that. It doesn't matter who it is. I can't stand seeing
Absolutely. That. And we love some Amik Robertson too, man. We need that guy.
We do. We will be ready for your return to the field when you are ready. How about Robert Spillane? Congratulations to him and his wife on their pregnancy. His interception was clutch. Yeah, that's a big deal. His offseason signing to the Raiders is what we needed. People criticized Ziegler for bringing in Spillane. All I heard was he's a liability in the passing game. This man has 3 interceptions, including one with a broken hand. The biggest thing about Spillane is he has the attitude of a Raider. Congratulations to Aiden O'Connell on his 2nd career touchdown and 2nd win. AOC has a passer rating 72 versus the Jets. Patrick Mahomes had a 63.6. Michael Mayer with his first of many touchdowns. It was a thing of beauty. JJ broke 100 yards last night for the first time this year. Jacobs will reach 1,000 yards in the next 5 games. Enjoy Victory Monday. Wednesday, the Raiders will turn the page to a tough Miami Dolphins team. Murph, thank you for the kind words and telling your story about you and your father. Thank you for making me a made man. I will wear the badge with honor. James Williams, proud made man.
Awesome. Thank you, James Williams.
Yeah, that was cool. Great email.
Yeah, you know what? So Josh Kavanite, shout out Raider Dad, and much respect to Raider Dad. So he put those testimonials that we all gave about Raider Dad and the importance and the connection that we have with our families and our fathers about the Raiders and football and whatnot. And so I got a little emotional, you know, when I gave I had such a nice response. There was so many folks that were like, shout out, like one example, our buddy Elon Bush. He was like, damn, Murf. He's like, I live like right by my dad, and he's not far out of Vegas, and I've never been to a game with him. And he's like, we're going now. And like that kind of stuff, like that, like, thank you for saying that. And like, it was all that, like we talked about at the top of the show, a lot of the, you know, all the shit that we might get at different times on the X and social medias and whatever. And not a ton of it. I mean, people are pretty much, they vibe with what we're doing, but every once in a while, you know, we'll get some, but like to hear that, like, because that was I don't want to get all gooey here, but like that was an emotional moment for me. Like,
absolutely,
I don't ever get like that where I'm just like, oh, you know what I mean about a thing. But when I was talking about my old man the last time we went to a Raider game together, like it just kind of like hit me out of nowhere. So to have folks respond in that way and that kindness, and so thank you, James Williams. Like it, yeah, that was raw and genuine right there.
Yeah, sometimes you don't realize the imprint that it has on
Amen.
you until you start like verbalizing.
Yes.
Like, oh wow, that meant a lot. Yeah,
yeah.
more than you ever thought it did.
Because I've talked about that trip a million times, but in the context of it and sharing moments with your father or parental figure in going to a Raider game, it just freaking flew all over me.
And thinking that currently there are kids that were you when you were little, and that they're doing that with their parental figure.
Yeah,
that'll kind of hit you. It's
powerful stuff, man.
I tell Devin, my 20-year-old, all the time, like, it may not be sad, it may not give you emotional things right now, but when you get older, when you start sort of looking back on things as not looking forward, changes things.
Well, you know, it's funny. So, and real quick, and then we want to get back into these emails. So my son also is 20, Tristan, and he's currently stationed in Norway. He's over there. Shout out the Seabees and the world's greatest Navy. And so he's over, and when he was here and all the time and, you know, living at home and whatnot, like, I mean, football's on, and especially Raiders shit is like, I mean, you're constantly, you know, surrounded by it and living in this house, and you know what I mean. And so he played football a little bit as a kid, and he grew up liking going to the games and stuff like that. But he wasn't like a rabid Raider fan. Now I hear from him every weekend. They all get together with the guys that are stationed over there. They all get together and watch football all day long on Sundays, because it's like right in there. It's like prime time for them, for like the early games and whatever. And we've talked more about Raider football this year than ever. And it's because I think that you're right, Michelle. Once you distance from it a little bit, then you start connecting with all of those memories, and you want to kind of reach back out and get some of those still. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so I think that's absolutely going to be the truth for Devin. And you know, Swaggle, your kids are super young still, but they're already starting in that, you know what I mean? They're starting to develop those relationships.
Absolutely. Well, you know, and it's like that with me on both spans. So like I'm developing, you know, I'm watching games with my kids and stuff like that, but like my dad is a Raider fan now.
Oh yeah.
You know, which is really cool. So like, I'm looking forward to watch it. You know, every Sunday, my dad comes over and watches games with me.
I love that.
Like, you know, my dad was always a Titans fan growing up and stuff like that. You know, I mean, we moved to Tennessee 25 years ago. He's always a Titans guy, you know, and since, you know, when I became a Raider fan, you know, this season, he was like, okay, I'm a Raider fan now. And like, so now we have that, like, another connection. Like,
right.
It's so cool. Like, and yeah, we're not in Allegiant Stadium and stuff like that. And I'm a 35-year-old man. Like, it's great to connect in that way, you know? I mean, and, you know, so I'm doing it for my kids, and my dad's doing it with me.
That's
like,
cool
it's
stuff,
just,
man.
It's really, really cool, man.
That's
you
awesome.
know? Yeah.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Love that. All right, next we have Ariel. Saniga.
Hey, Ariel?
You ready? Yep. That's what he's going to ask for at the end. So I'm going to point
yeah,
you
he
guys.
is.
Get it ready,
Of course
Jeff.
he is.
All right. For the people who criticized Aiden O'Connell, QBs versus the Jets defense. Mahomes, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 63.6 QBR. Allen, 236 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, 62.7 QBR. Hurts, 280 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, 59.5 QBR. Herbert, 136 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 65.4 QBR. O'Connell, 153 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 72 QBR.
Oh,
Hope
that's good.
that helps for those calling him garbage. Just one, baby. What a freaking game. The win was not pretty. It was a defensive showdown where our defense won the war. To you, Aiden O'Connell critics, let me tell you something. Jets have a top 3, arguably the best defense in the NFL. AOC is a rookie and did enough to win. His touchdown to Myers was the only touchdown of the game between both teams, which happens to also be the difference between us winning and us going to overtime and a 50-50 chance of losing. We have a rookie quarterback, rookie OC, rookie head coach, and had our best O-line man, Colton Miller, out. Illuminor went from right tackle to left tackle and had a backup at right tackle. Despite all of this, our boys laid it all down and did enough to get us the victory. Statistically, most interim head coaches lose game 2. Let's be grateful and proud of our team. Game ball goes to our defense. That interception by Spillane was huge in a critical part of the game. My greedy ass is pissed off at Crosby for not having any sacks or tackles for loss. Just kidding. The Condor has us spoiled, always carrying our defense. This time it was everyone having their fair share of ups and downs, but making plays when it mattered most. Now looking forward to Miami. I don't know what to make of this team. They're coming off a bye, well-rested and healthy. Let's hope they added some rust and we come out fast and furious. We need to get a quick lead and have them play catch-up. We need our D-line to come out ferocious because they got speedy receivers who can burn us if we give them time. I just want our boys to continue to play lights out, maximum effort, every play till the whistle blows. My Christmas wish list is we extend Pierce for 3 years, hire Eric Bieniemy as assistant head coach, and put him in charge of our offense. Keep Graham because God knows we need some type of continuity, and he's doing a great job with the players we have. I hope we also sign GM Kelly. I'd like the hiring of Kelly and Pierce to be sooner than later. Lastly, I want to thank you guys for putting on a good, entertaining show for us fans. I have much love and respect for what you guys do giving back to different organizations. I used to give live updates on Facebook during the whole relocation process starting in July of 2016 by going to the SNTIC meetings, construction site, and the stadium board meetings. That's when I met Scott Gulbranson. If I remember correctly, I believe some people wanted me to link up with Murf to back then talk about what was really going on in Vegas because there were lots of misinformation out there. It was ugly times with the nation as we were very divided. Anyways, I know it's not easy doing live shows. Time goes fast and your brain goes faster than you can put words in your mouth. That's that's the truth. That's why I respect all Raiders content creators except for the Saints/Raiders fan. Who could that be?
The guy that bought 40,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, yikes.
I'm not naming any names.
Name it. No, just kidding. You guys do
it
a phenomenal
with
job.
hi-fi.
Billy. Oh, shit.
You guys do a phenomenal job and are my favorite Raider content creators.
Thank you.
I love that. I love how you let us engage with emails and phone calls. So I just want to end it by saying thanks with much love and respect. P.S. Can Raider Nation get a
Hoo-yah!
There it is.
Just to tag that, first off, thank you very much for your email there, Ariel. And you are one of the next made men. We're going to hear one more from Raider Lorian, and then we're gonna make both of you guys. But on Max Crosby, he's played 100% of the defensive snaps again in this game against the Jets. He's missed 2 snaps in the last 7 games, which were 2 kneel downs versus the Bears. He's played 98.1% of defensive snaps this season.
Of course, 98.
Right?
Oh, right.
And the next highest is Aiden Hutchinson at 89%. And there's been some concern up there. I've heard from some Raider fans saying like, oh, is that sustainable? Yes.
Yeah.
It's Max freaking Crosby.
Yeah.
This dude is wired different, man. It built different.
Built
you know,
different.
Yes.
One more of those, man.
Right?
Golly.
Come on, Tyree Wilson.
Man, come on.
Yep.
All right, next, Raider Lorian.
Hey, Raider Lorian.
AP is him. That's another game to put into the cargo hold. Here we go into a game where the Dolphins are winless against a team 500, over 0.500 plus.
Yes.
If the troops continue to rally, there's nothing to stop this team but themselves. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Everyone stay safe. And congratulations to the dog Robert Spillane on him and his wife's pregnancy with their first child. Raider Lorian, 93, out.
Hey, nice job, Raider Lorian.
That was so cute how he made the announcement about his wife being pregnant. Like,
Right, that was cool.
cute.
And then he tucked the football in his jersey and stuff. Yeah, that was very, very cool. All right, so hey, congratulations now to Raider Lorian and also Ariel Zuniga. You two fellas, we congratulate you as you are the next 2 made men here at Raiders Fan Radio. So welcome to the table.
You are a made man. You showed you are part of the family by participation.
by chance a man like yourself should make enemies, then they would become my enemies. Showing you are a friend of Raiders Fan Radio, you have leapt across the line. Friendship is everything. Friendship is more than talent. It is more than the government. It's almost equal to family. Be loyal. Made man, Raider fan. Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this as a gift. And don't ever forget, words can hurt more, but silence can break hearts.
All right. Congratulations, fellas. Appreciate you very, very much. The good stuff in there says, tired of the excuses. Aiden O'Connell is average so far. He has potential and upside, but he has played average. Yeah, he started 3 games.
He's a 4th round.
He's a 4th round pick.
What do you want?
Yeah, exactly. I think I
He's
would.
done great for that.
I was absolutely. I agree, Michelle. And I would say, adjust your expectation there. Good stuff, because you're talking about a guy now that's got a winning record in the National Football League and is showing to be able to do some pretty good stuff. So yeah, he's got potential and he's going to capitalize on that.
What's the excuses? I don't think anyone's making excuses.
No one's making an excuse for him.
I don't think any of us.
I mean,
did.
other than time served.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Other than the fact that he hasn't gotten the amount of snaps, and you would hope that he'll continue to improve. But again, what's the expectation of it, though? And I appreciate the comment. I'm not trying to take a shot at you here, but I'm saying that,
we're certainly not making excuses for him. I don't know if someone else has.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah, I think he's done great for what he's been given.
Considering what he's been given.
What he's been tossed into.
One of the best defenses in the NFL this last week. So, I mean, let's give him some time before you start making up your mind on him. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. The next 2 games are going to be big
huge.
Time.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see where we're at.
Huge.
Paul is next.
Hey,
huge. All right. One day I'm going to do this in my best English accent. I'm not. I'm not.
Hello, love. Just make it a really bad one. Just feel like it's
thank you.
Charlie, you bit my finger. Y'all remember that?
That really hurt, Charlie.
Okay, we're sorry, Paul. We're so sorry.
We've got another.
How was that,
email
Paul?
here.
It was good. It was good, right?
How
Evening, everybody.
would you fancy a bottle of water? Want a bottle of water?
Wow.
You really wound up.
Would you fancy a bottle of water?
You're like My Fair Lady before she got
What are you doing, Jeff?
I'm not sure what he's doing actually.
Yesterday was Tuesday, isn't it?
Harry Potter.
Tuesday, isn't it?
Poor Paul.
Okay, sorry, Paul.
Respect, Paul.
God,
Yeah,
all
much
respect.
respect.
Paul.
Paul.
Shout out Silver and Black today.
Paul just logged
yeah. Paul and Keith Smith,
Bless
and
all of you.
they're all looking at us going like, look at these.
I really do.
Hooligan Nation goes, oi!
Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll work on that. We're gonna work on that. It's a
Oi
work
to
in
the
progress.
punks. Oi to the world, and everybody wins. Oi, oi!
That's right.
Hey, oh, that's all I know. Okay. All right, here we go.
Swaggy turned into Dick Van Dyke.
I don't know. Yes, like Bird.
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins. Let me go clean this chimney.
Look at Brian says Paul just flipped the table at 3 a.m.
That's right. Got him fired up. It's like a Raider game.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Right now-
thank you, Bob.
right
Thank
now-
you. She apologized on our behalf for the shot
yeah,
that
yeah,
must have
yeah.
just kicked in. So thank you.
Oh
for
my
that.
gosh! Yeah, Paul and Jermaine Illuminor are looking at this right now, going like, "Look at these."
Paul
3
literally
idiots.
logged out. I haven't even seen him. Oh wait, there he goes.
Ariel Zuniga says this show just went sideways.
Hello, Oreo.
Top of the morning to you. Okay, sorry. Okay. We're done.
Pip, cheerio.
Okay.
Okay, do it in a Paul McCartney voice.
I can't. No.
They talk about the Raiders, a little doodly doo and a zoobity zoo.
Hello.
Just sat down with me bass.
Paul McCartney.
Tony Shepard has got Murf snorting. Yeah, I know, chortling over here.
Okay, here we go. In my voice.
I told John to just put a little medley behind it.
God, I love hearing the Beatles talk.
Oh my gosh, it's
I
infectious.
love hearing
It's
them
infectious.
talk. Do you remember the Beatles cartoon? Did you just watch that when you were little?
No, but I remember like Yellow Submarine and all that stuff.
They had a cartoon on Saturday mornings.
I don't remember that.
I'll send you links.
Okay, please. Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Anthony Provencio says, a smoke and a pancake.
A bong and a blintz.
It's Austin Powers Faja.
Faja, can you hear me?
Guys.
All right. We've gone so
I'm
far
about
off
to
the
have a
rails.
coughing fit.
All right,
Y'all-
all right,
okay.
all right, here we go. Let's
Okay.
get it back under control.
Paul says,
I feel violated.
You should, Paul. And you know what? We're sorry. You should absolutely feel violated, and we apologize. And you know what? I don't apologize.
We love you, Paul. You know we're not
we
making
do.
fun of. We're making fun of ourselves.
I'm making fun of myself because I wish I just love.
I
that
love, and that's
accent.
what
I freaking love it.
Wendy says. Stop your terrible Beatle accents. I agree.
We are.
That's what we're. This is a roundabout way of us making fun of ourselves.
I want to be. I want to.
Paul deserves reparations. by Mary says.
Paul's going to cancel us.
Paul, I know, right? Yeah. We have
Paul,
lost.
please don't cancel us.
We have
It's
lost at
because
least
we
half our
love
listening.
you,
It's
and
because we love you.
I desperately, Paul, you need to call in so I can hear what your voice sounds like anyway. Then I can read these just like
You know, one time.
You know,
I would
and it's
love
gonna be
to
funny.
get-
He's gonna be like, "Hey guys,
Hey
how's
guys,
it going?"
it's me, Paul.
yeah.
It's going to sound like he's from Alabama or something like that.
Sound like Josh in the 703.
Yeah, there you go.
Man, F Ringo.
Ringo.
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, here
All
we
right,
go.
Let's go. Let's get back on track.
Evening, everybody.
Hello,
I
Paul.
hope you're all feeling more relaxed now after Sunday.
And we are.
Yeah,
We are. I think my
Sweating
heart
and drinking
rate.
over here.
Damn these! What is it? 99 butterscotch. Shit. I
Yeah,
hope you're all
respect
feeling
99
more-
brand.
Respect. I think my heart rate has returned to somewhere near normal, although the blood pressure medication took a beating and I was popping antacids like sweets. The night started off so calmly as well, didn't it? With a nod to the Heidi game.
Didn't it?
Isn't it?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't start us
Don't
again.
get me started.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Isn't it? No, didn't it? With a nod to the Heidi game. But after that, it was a nerve shredder. There were times in the fourth quarter that I was ready to make a couple of appointments for some therapy with the Raider Truth Chicken. Then Robert, you beautiful man Spillane, picked off that pass. Even then, we had to do things the hard way by giving the Jets the ball back with a minute to go. Why do we do it? So I have a few people to mention. Aiden O'Connell. I'm really impressed with the way he's going about things. Apart from a couple of tricky happy feet moments on Sunday, he did everything that was asked of him again, and you can see him growing in confidence every game. We've still got some jackasses complaining and expecting him to be the number one option immediately, which is BS. The kid is a fourth-round draft pick, has a rookie head coach, a rookie offensive coordinator. He was missing his starting left tackle, and he has had the best defense I've seen in years breathing down his neck all night. And guess what, idiots? He won. Whatever happened to learning and development people? Bo Hardigree, his first two games have been excellent.
Oh, yes. Good call
Shout out to him.
Yep.
Going for it on fourth down. Oh, I love when they go for it.
Yes,
on fourth down.
Dude,
That's
that
my
can lay
shit
to
right
Carter
there.
right
That thing
there
was money,
pretty
That
dude.
was
Yeah.
beautiful. Going for it on fourth down with that tush push end around was the scariest thing I've seen in a while, and I bet I wasn't the only one screaming, "For the love of God, kick it! What are you doing, man?" But what a play call. Who'd have thought that invention, creativity, belief in your players, and a winning mentality could be the way forward? What a concept. AJ Cole, he seems to be breaking records every week, and a lot of it goes unnoticed. It was vital in a game like Sunday that we didn't give the Jets a short field, and AJ was fantastic. Another couple of years doing this, and we could be talking about him in the same way as Ray Guy and Shane Leckler, if we're not already. Of course, I have to mention Coach Pierce and his quest for the full-time job. Off the field, he's done more than enough already, and the players adore him. They're playing their hearts out for him, and the fans are behind him, so it seems logical at this stage that he'll get the job. On the field, it's not bad either. He can't get better than 2-0, can he? There's still a little way to go before we can crown him as our guy going forward, but picture this, Raider Nation. If we win one of the next two games, his stock is going to be really high. Win both, and the job is his for certain. It just feels right with him being there, doesn't it? If one or both of the next two games do go wrong, then it'll be interesting to see how the new regime reacts to the adversity. And although we don't want to see us lose, it is important to see that kind of reaction as well. Right now, though, I don't doubt AP at all. I don't know what to expect going into the Dolphins game. They're coming off a bye week. It's another Eastern time zone game, and they have quite a fearsome offense at the minute. But we've just beaten the Jets, who had the best defense I've seen this year. So let's see what AP and the boys can put together. I do know one thing. We're beating the Chiefs in Vegas.
Come on.
And we're going into our bye week at least 6-6. Then it really is game on. And finally. As Thanksgiving is only a week away, it's important to remember those that are worse off. Life throws all sorts of chaos at us, and some people have things a lot worse than ours. So be thankful for the fact that you don't have to live with Chris Collinsworth. You haven't.
Yes, you did, Paul.
Thank you. You haven't got Phillip Rivers constantly bursting through your bedroom door like Jack Nicholson in The Shining. And just imagine the torture if you had to be in a room with the most hateful sportsman on the planet, Travis Kelce, and his odious, talentless Barbie doll, Taylor Swift.
Oh, my gosh.
I feel physically sick typing their names. So, Raider Nation, it's time to squish the fish, to skin the fins, and, oh, hell, just beat the shit out of the Dolphins.
Let's go.
Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Pauly Award winner 2019 and 2022, Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, BRT Sizzler scorekeeper, proud made man,
Five-time,
time
2
plus
+1 +1.
winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler.
Attaboy, Paul.
Hey, come on.
Paul, your name Paul? Hello? Paul.
I met him with Paul. Who? Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
All right, there he is, Paul. We give it up for Paul. We appreciate
Let's
you
go.
so very, very much, and thank you for putting up with our absolutely
Oh my gosh.
juvenile
That
sense of
was
humor.
incredible.
Yeah, Paul, we love you so
We're
very,
a dog
very
whistle.
much.
He gets it.
We are, yeah, he gets it. He knows that we're just having fun, and yeah, we go off the rails occasionally around here, and everybody out there in Silver and Black, you get for real, man.
At least once a show.
We love you guys, and please, that would not make it. I think that might have been the closest we ever came to actually offending somebody. Yeah, but anyways,
really wish
it was
I
just
could.
we're just being silly. All right, and call us back and leave us messages making fun of
Paul
us.
said he wants me to watch My Fair Lady before next week. Paul, I've
Oh,
watched. I've
perfect.
seen it.
The
I've
rain
seen
in
it.
Spain falls
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
all the time.
Fine. I've watched it, Paul.
Start it again.
Well,
Do that.
he brought it up.
He brought it up.
Oh my gosh.
But I'll watch it again.
Just get me
even
to
though
the
I've seen it
church.
a million times, Paul.
Just get me to the church on time. All right, next up, we've got. Thanks for getting that one, Michelle. Next up, let's go to our buddy down in. So we're gonna go from.
Our screen went off. It was so bad that you
Oh,
shut
the
us
screen.
up.
I showed you now. Oh, Paul
shut
says
up.
he's actually peeing himself
good.
laughing. Okay,
Okay.
good. Okay, so it's.
I
taken.
figured you would be, Paul.
Yeah,
Okay,
you like that
absolutely.
shit.
All
You
right.
like it.
Do they have Depends in England? I don't know.
All right. So we're going to go from Shropshire, England, down to Houston and check in with our good buddy. We call him the Houstorian. He is Houston Raiders Steve.
Murf, Mosh, Swag, Jazz, Nation. Michelle, hey, thanks for the check you gave the bulletin cost $15,000. That was awesome, brother and ladies. And I just want to say, man, I'm glad we have.
Wait a minute. Steve. Let's check back in with what Houston Raiders Steve had to say there.
Michelle, hey, thanks for the check you gave the bulletin cost $15,000. That was awesome, brother and ladies.
And ladies.
Oh, that's so good.
Love
You're
it.
very inclusive.
So I want
I
to.
appreciate
I
that.
want to know who the brother is. Is it you or me, Swag Jeff? Because Michelle
Yeah,
is
just
better
one
than
of
lady.
you.
So
Proverbial
one of-
brother and lady.
and lady. So one of us has been left out of the group.
Somebody
fine.
is not a
Dang it.
brother.
All right.
It's probably me.
It's probably you. That's all right.
It's fine.
You love that shit.
And I just want to say, man, I'm glad we have the new head coach. Complete change of scenery. He grew up in Compton, been a Raider fan for life. He's a player's coach. They're in there smoking cigars after the game. They beat the New York Giants led by DeVito. I didn't know if he was Danny DeVito from Taxi or what, but he played like Danny DeVito. But anyway,
He played like Danny
it was
DeVito.
so great, man. Josh Jacobs, it's a whole new breath of fresh air for the Raiders. They had to do it before they got to, they still have a chance to make the playoffs. I don't know about division. Let's if we can think ain't going to get a wild card. It's a brand new game, brand new breath of fresh air. I don't think we'll see Jimmy G playing anymore. You got to love O'Connell, Aiden O'Connell and everything, the way he's doing it. He picked it right up. Got the heart of a champion. And he should have been playing in the Chicago game. I was at that game. They played him when it was over with.
Oof.
The game was already a foregone conclusion. Anyway, enough of that. We're back, baby. We're going to make the playoffs. We're going to get on card, and let's go out and beat the heck out of the Jets. Y'all are awesome. Friends for life. Good day.
There is Houston Raiders Steve.
There you go, man.
Appreciate you, Houston Raiders team. All right, next up, this is one that's not on the call sheet because I forgot this was emailed
sneaker.
in. Yeah,
Okay.
this was emailed in. So let's check in with let's see, I can flip over the camera here. So we had this thing for those of you that are new to the show. I'm sorry, but also too we had these chickens that were laying around, and one time Jeff and I did a therapy show, and so whoever was holding the chicken was the one that got to talk and tell the truth, and so somebody came up with a handle called the Raider Truth Chicken that's in the chat all the time, and I think has a Twitter and whatnot, and also is in the chat room, which I think the Raider Truth Chicken is in there.
Yeah, he's in there.
And last week the Raider Truth Chicken called the show, so now the Raider Truth Chicken called again. So if you call one more time, Raider Truth Chicken, you can become the next made man or made chicken, anyways, here at Raiders Fan Radio.
The first made chicken ever?
Yeah.
This is Raider Truth Chicken. Please excuse this crude translation device. How about them Raiders beating those Jets? I think Robert Spillane is my new favorite Raider. I have a Jets joke. What does Jets stand for? Just end the season. Ha 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 ha. And how about our coach, Antonio Pierce, showing up for work, driving his candy apple red 64 Chevy Impala? How cool is our coach? He gets the Raiders. It reminds me of when I was a young chicken in the hood. And I remember songs that I would listen to. I would like to lay down some bars from one of my favorite songs.
Oh, no.
Bars. Right.
Cruising down the street in my 6'4", jocking the freaks, clocking the dough. Went to the park to get the scoop. Knuckleheads out there shooting some hoops. Car pulls up. Who can it be? A fresh El Camino rolled Kilo G.
Oh, no.
Fresh El Camino rolled Kilo G. He rolls down the window. He started to say, it's all about making that GTA. Cause the boys in the hood are always hard. You come talking that trash and we'll pull your card. Knowing nothing in life but to be legit. Don't quote me, boy, cause I ain't said shit. This is Raider Truth Chicken. Go Raiders, go Raider Nation.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Well done, Truth Chicken.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Love it. Get a little easy in there, man. You can never go wrong with that.
Hell yeah.
All right. Good stuff there from our good friend, Raider True Chicken. Whoever you are, we don't ever want to know. Just keep it.
You.
Just be you, man. I love it. All right. Next up, we're going to check in with our good friend down in Los Angeles. He is Animal Mother.
What's up? It's Animal Mother. It's November 10th. Happy birthday, United States Marine Corps. And tomorrow, happy birthday, or not happy birthday, but happy Veterans Day to everybody out there. We're drinking in the backyard, and on Sunday, hopefully, we're gonna take down the Jets. Love you guys. Go Raiders. Animal Mother out.
Nice. Get your facts, get your funny, get the F out.
That's it. Quick and to the point. Have a take, don't suck.
That's it.
And happy Veterans Day to all of those of you. I mentioned my son
100%.
Tristan, who's actively serving in the Navy, and
my
Animal
brother as
Mother.
well.
Your brother's actively serving in the Navy. We know Animal Mother is a Marine. CPA Joel is a Marine. Raider Ramon is a Marine. Who am I missing? Mojo just recently retired from the Navy. His lovely wife Libby recently retired.
Uncle Mosh.
Uncle Mosh, Air Force. You know, my old man was a Marine. Like, I mean,
My dad was a Marine.
Your dad was a Marine.
My granddad was in
I mean,
Navy.
it's yep, absolutely.
Both of my granddads were Navy, yeah.
So we appreciate all of those of you that are out there. Hooligan Nation says, go Army. We appreciate you so very, very much in your service and what you all did when you got up and went to work every day. We cannot appreciate you enough for that. And anybody that's continuing to serve now, man, we love you guys. You know, it sounds cliche, but it's always worth pointing out that, you know, we don't get to do the simplest of things like sit in a bonus room and talk about our favorite football team without the men and women that are out there serving and protecting our freedoms in the world. So we appreciate you so very, very much. All right, next up, let's see. We've got.
Paul says my granddad was a chimney sweep. Chimney, chimney,
Don't start it. Don't do it. All right, let's
okay.
Let's go check in with our buddy down in Alabama. Here you go.
Tempt us, Paul.
Here's an Army guy. I know Josh in the 703 was serving in the Army.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And so let's check in with our buddy down in Alabama. He is Josh in the 703.
What's up, fam? Well, another good win for the Raiders. Always good to see. And, you know, a lot of people, the Jets suck. No, that Jets defense is legit. You know, that Wilson may not be, but that Jets defense is legit. Especially when you don't have your left tackle and some of the guys that we were missing. So, happy about that. I'm not going to lie, like, whenever we got Robert Spillane, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? You know? But I know, like, you study leadership, Murf, and, you know, you can see with the leadership from Antonio Pierce and how he's believing in him. You know, I know they talked about it on the telecast that, you know, that dude's playing just out of his mind. I mean, like I said, I didn't know who the hell he was before we got him. When he was playing, I was like, this guy, yeah. But he's doing really well. So, happy for that. Happy to hear that they're trying to say, like, you know, they want to build the offense around Josh Jacobs and what he does. You know, and I think that gives O'Connell a chance to just come into his own as well because he doesn't have to try to do everything. I mean, he made some really good throws and he made some rookie misses. We got to see more what he's about before, you know, deciding if he's the future. You know, the big thing for me is when it's on the line and you got to make that play, what do? I mean, we know Jacobs, we know Adams, but, you know, he's still kind of a mystery. So, but, hey, a win's a win. Happy for it. We got the Dolphins coming up next. I got personal stake in this. My dad's a Dolphins fan. So, with a special man, the Dolphins.
Oh, you missed it, and I love it.
I missed it.
Yeah, I love it.
That's all right. Because he's not wrong.
He's not wrong at all.
F them indeed. Absolutely. So we appreciate you, Josh, down in the 703. All right, got two more to get to. Let's check in with our buddy Jacob from Fresno.
What's up, guys? This is Jacob from Fresno. Listen, I don't know if you guys saw that game, but what the heck was that?
I love how Jacob from Fresno just calls and yells. It's the whole thing. Always, yeah.
Oh, man.
The Irish cannon. He's throwing the potato. It's Michael Mayer's hand. He's the fighting Irish.
Oh, no. Now we've offended the entirety of the UK.
Yeah.
Anybody want to get Northern Scotland in the mix?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, did you see the fighting Irish go up there and snag that potato? Oh, man, did you see that?
Jeez.
I love it. So proud to be Irish. The Irish cannon's coming at you. And not to mention, not only is Aidan O'Connell going off, one whole touchdown, come on! The New York Jets! That's Hall of Fame worthy right there, man! All right, and on defense, I mean, we've always said, wouldn't it be amazing if we had 11 Max Crosbys? I mean, the coverage would be a little spotty, but I mean, you'd be with you. It's all right. The guy's got heart. I tell you, we don't have 11 Max Crosbys. We don't. We do not. I am not going to say that today.
And it's not, I'm so stupid. It's not Scotland, it's Northern Ireland.
Right.
Is what the UK is,
right,
right? Yeah, it's Wales, England, Northern Ireland, and then, of course, and then Scotland. Oh, no, Scotland, but, oh, no, so I was kind of right. I just conflated two things. I do that a lot.
That's okay.
Okay, all right, let's get back
Do
to
that
this.
a lot.
let's get back to offending the entirety of
Let's do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's get
let's
entirety of the UK.
let's finish.
Let's finish strong,
Yeah,
guys.
hey, Paul, we need some Wales jokes just so we can finish this thing strong.
Just drop an
But I
elbow
will
on these
say, that we probably got at least two because Billy Willis. Now, look at that guy. guy, man. I mean, if he played like that every week, woo! We got 2 guys in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, Max Crosby, let's not get down on him. He is a stud, and he still had a great game. Should have had a sack, but they had the dadgum, what is that, intentional grounding? They should count that. Come on, give him something. At least put that on his stats, that he forced an intentional grounding. But spin it, win it, Spillane! That guy! Woo! That guy is just, he's on fire. He is on fire. I love him under Antonio Pierce. I love the Raiders, man. We might have beat the Dolphins. Who knows?
Oh,
I wasn't going to say anything like that 3 weeks ago. Let's go, Raiders!
Nice. Jacob from Fresno, man. Ah, he's out of control. He's funny,
I love
man.
A fired up.
Love it.
I love it.
Love it, man. Look, the good stuff says, last time I told a Wales joke, I got kicked off out of the school pickup line.
Absolutely.
Send me that joke in an email. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
Michelle at RaidersFanRadio.com.
There you go. There
absolutely.
you go. Well, Paul says Damage Inc. Raider Nation Scotland was in the chat, so please don't say
be
anything
careful.
about Scotland.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I won't say anything about the Scottish.
Well, we want him to be included.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you might feel left out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Only one not being impersonated.
I don't. Yeah.
Heed, paper.
can't-
No.
oh, okay.
Move that melon of yours and get the paper if you can.
Get in my belly!
Hauling that gargantuan cranium about. Oh, I'm not kidding.
Baby, the other white meat.
That boy's got a head like Sputnik, spherical yet quite pointy in parts. Oh, Charlie tells me you're a butcher. Tell me, do you link your own sausage? Sorry.
I don't know any.
I've seen so much. So I
clearly.
married an axe murderer.
Ah, no kidding.
It's so damn funny. Yeah. All right.
Saturday night.
We're gonna get the Rod Stewart cranking up in here
Oh,
for you.
my
All right, next
gosh.
up, we got one more to get to. He is in Ithaca, New York, and I only know that because his area code is the 607. And so now, Paul says now it's Brigadoon.
Is there anyone else we need to offend, Paul?
Men in the UK, like who's
Put in the
left?
chat who you want us to offend next.
Oh my gosh!
Don't do that.
No, yeah, no, don't do that. No, all right, let's get to this last call.
Well,
That
for
was a joke.
sure,
Please
get
don't do
canceled.
that. Please
Let's
don't
get
do that.
hey,
Who you trying to offend tonight?
no. Let's get
Paul said France.
Let's get to this freaking guy in Ithaca, New York, in the
Yeah.
607, huh?
I like that.
All right.
Come on.
What's up, RFR peeps? How about that win this weekend? Now, look, as much as I'm absolutely loving the vibe they got going on.
Everybody's picking on the French. I wish Mosh was here. He was all about that. Oh, yeah.
Would love it.
All right, here we go. Sorry.
Okay.
Loving that style of football, bringing that Raider way back. What I've been screaming for, and we finally got it. I got to kind of temper expectations. This game, I'm curious how sustainable this is going to be. And even if we can sustain it, is Mark going to be willing to give Yankees that nod moving forward? I mean, he's got these guys balling. He's got Tillery playing lights out. He's got Spillane playing lights out. Josh Jacobs is back to that old form. Devontae's happy. And, I mean, let's talk about O'Connell. That kid's way above expectations right now. But, really concerned. We got a tough stretch coming up. What you got to do to solidify that head coaching gig and keep that moving. Anyway, great game. Looking forward to next weekend. And go Raiders.
All right, there he is, caller in the 607.
There we go.
All right, we appreciate you very, very much, caller in the 607. And call us back and tell us what your name is, because that's the thing. When we get new callers to the show, we always want to know who you are.
That there's a secret society of the 5 wealthiest people in the world, known as the Pentaverate, who run everything in the world, including the newspapers, and meet triannually at a secret country mansion in Colorado known as
The Meadows.
So who's in this Pentaverate? The Queen, the Vatican, the Gettys, the Rothschilds, and Colonel Sanders before he went tits up. I hated the Colonel with his wee beady eyes and that smug look on his face.
Ooh, you're gonna eat my chicken.
Oh,
I feel like
then
he sounded
how can
just
you
like
hate
that.
the Colonel? Because he puts an addictive chemical in his chicken that makes you crave it fortnightly, smart arse.
Oh my gosh. All right, so we award a Sizzler Award to the best emailer or phone caller of the night, and that duty goes over to my best friend and your swag, Jeff. So who is the best of the emailers and phone callers tonight?
Oh my
and
gosh.
Thank you to everybody, by the way. We had a ton of them. It was great.
Absolutely, yeah. We can't thank you enough, guys. And I think Murf shouted out a couple folks that are only one email or caller away or whatever from
Van City
from
Raider.
being made. Van City Raider, absolutely. So yeah, so much respect to all you guys that emailed, called in, all that stuff. We started out with the emails tonight. Hooligan Nation, James Williams, Ariel Zuniga, Raider Lorian, and of course, Paul. Then the voicemails, Houston Raider Steve, the Raider Truth Chicken, Animal Mother, Josh in the 703, Jacob from Fresno, and the caller in the 607. Tonight, you know, he's a good sport, man.
Yeah,
You know, we've been doing some stuff, man, you know, but we're all having fun.
Yeah, I'm fun.
Tonight, we're going to have to change our entire way we do this email show. Tonight's Sizzler goes to Paul.
Much deserved.
I am the Sizzler.
Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler.
Sizzler.
Sizzler.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Hey, so I got to tell you. So all this joking aside, and
Sure.
and we've been having a lot of fun here tonight, and
Of course.
But I have the most respect for anybody global that's a Raider fan. But a lot of our folks in Silver and Black UK, and we know that the NFL is becoming such a big thing in the UK, and now even with the game in Frankfurt, the NFL fans over there,
Dude.
like Paul grew up listening to Armed Forces Radio, like seeking out Raider games, and like had to long before the days of the internet, right? Like when I was a kid, when you and I were kids, you know, Jeff sorta, but like you had to look for this stuff, you had to seek it out, and so for someone in a different country to develop a Raider fandom and a connection to this football team, we grew up in it. They didn't.
Right.
So to find that love and to find that passion for this football team and to wear their fandom so openly and to do something like Paul he emails our show every single week. And I know that he also supports guys like Graf and Waste and all those and interacts with us on Twitter constantly. You know, I'm telling you, like, I almost have a higher appreciation for fans like that than I do our own, because it was kind of in our face all the time. Right. You know what I mean? But for those folks over there in the UK and abroad, they didn't have it. It wasn't on TV every week. It wasn't, you weren't around people wearing that stuff all the time every day and family members and all that. So I got a ton of respect for you, Paul. And so we love you very much. And all of our good folks over there in Silver and Black UK.
And he's the
thanks for
maid
putting
of
up
the
with
maid
our
of the maid
freaking
of the
lunacy
maid.
over here.
Like, I mean, come on.
You don't get more made.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on the shortest of lists with Ron and, you know what I mean, and Mojo and those guys, man. So we can't appreciate you enough. And so we love you very, very much, Paul. And so anyways, thank you.
And John Lucas said the same thing. He said, that's right, Murph. Imagine being Italian before the internet
There
era
you go.
and seeking out Raider stuff every week. Like, I
That's
mean,
incredible.
like that was a really good point. Like, like those UK fans, like that, you know, I mean,
We're
all
all
those
European
folks,
fans.
just had
European
it. They had to
fans, man,
seek
like
it
they
out.
had to like search and find that stuff, man. Like
it was
just
a
call out.
grind for them to find
Right.
content. And it's not like, you know, this is like nowadays you got Raider fan shows everywhere and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot more accessible. Back then it wasn't, man. So to develop that passion for a football team when the information and the things that you have were limited, man, I'm telling you, I just got all the respect in the world for it. And again, thank you for putting up with our silliness over here. But we love you, Raider Nation. I'll leave it to Jeff and Michelle to shout out the chat room. I know we got so many amazing folks in there tonight. Thank you to all of those of you that donated tonight. We appreciate you so very, very much. Thank you for your support of the One Nation Foundation, where we support nothing but Raiders-related charities, like the good folks at Raider Dad, like the good folks at the Bolitnikoff Foundation, and now the good folks at the Max Crosby Foundation.
Yeah.
We appreciate you very much. We can't get to those donations without you, Raider Nation. It's not us. You're the ones that are sharing your generosity with these charities. We're just a vessel. We're just a gathering point. So thank you for those of you that have committed monetarily. And thank you for those of you that just help amplify the message of Raiders Fan Radio. This show is designed now to support the One Nation Foundation. And that's 100% what we're going to do with it. We're going to grow up bigger and better in 2024. We can't do without you. So thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribe. Thank you for all the thumbs ups. Anything you can do to share this show and to help us grow the foundation. We love you guys. We cannot thank you enough.
Yeah, listen, okay, so my 13-4 is out the window, but even better than that, we could actually see the playoffs, and that's what I'm looking at. So we're going to beat the Dolphins, and we're going to beat the Chiefs. I'm calling
Let's
both
go,
of them.
Michelle.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, and thanks for everyone in the chat. Paul, Captain Jack Rackham's in there. Good to see you, bud. Good stuff. Tony Shefford, Gianluca Morelli's in there. Tony Shefford, Ariel Zuniga, Vibrators in there. My beautiful wife is in there. Jordan Ford's in there. Let's see, Hooligan Nation's in there. Corey Fleck. Let's see here. So many more folks. Vegas Raider Pete's in there. Foxy Scorpio, Jonathan Wade, Raider Truth Chicken's in there. My gosh, the whole crew, man. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks for everyone for calling, emailing, all that stuff, listening, wherever you are, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on the audio podcast, wherever you are, Facebook, Stitcher, Twitch, any of that stuff. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side.
And if you're on the Facebooks, come see us on the YouTube, because we can't read your comments on the Facebook.
Jump over. Jump over here, man. Hey, don't forget, folks, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland. We love you.
Yeah, we do.
See you, bye.
See you, bye.
Goodbye.
I gotta hit this button.
Hit that damn button, bro.
I always miss that other damn. I don't know where it's at. I don't know how I always lose that one.